Insurance companies. They know who we are, and now you know it too. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You made it through the holidays. Now it's time to figure out if that constant sniffle is a cold or allergies. Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help. I know, you're busy. Who has time to get an allergy test and go in for weekly allergy shots? At Aspire, we make it easy by providing same-day results and a treatment plan tailored just for you. Forget the over-the-counter meds. Aspire has solutions that actually work, so you can say goodbye to allergies for good. Go to AspireAllergy.com to schedule your appointment. That's AspireAllergy.com.
A picture is worth 1,000 words, but a video is priceless. I'm Attorney Mo DeWitt, and we have access to every single traffic camera in the state of Florida. Injured on the go, just call Mo, Orlando's injury attorneys.
If you want to enjoy the benefits of softer hair and skin without the drying effects of chlorine and chemicals in your water, you got to get hold of my friends over at purewaterchanges.com. Give them a call at 407-MY-WATER, and you can schedule a free water inspection and receive a $100 gift card. Complimentary water inspection must be performed with all homeowners of record. But I'm telling you, I have one of these systems in my house, and I swear by it. I wouldn't have a house without a quality water treatment system. That's purewaterchanges.com, or give them a call at 407-MY-WATER. purewaterchanges.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
We all make resolutions this time of year, and let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but will help you feel healthier all year long. Navage. Navage provides quick, drug-free nasal relief by washing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. This time of year, when everyone is sick, Navage helps by sucking out germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. And unlike medications that can take time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage helps treat congestion symptoms in seconds flat, without drugs. This New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
New South Window Solutions. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. C-H-E-C-K. Check. That's check. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Monday, January 29th, 2024. Lots to get to today, from the Taylor Swift Super Bowl conspiracy to tossing soup at the Mona Lisa, and a bizarre sound is pissing off Tampa residents, plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Sabrina is out. Hey there, C-Lane.
What's happening?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Everything you type rolling right into the studio in real time. How you doing on a Monday, C-Lane?
Pretty good.
Yes.
I'm in a different room, so I'm like, did I forget anything? But I think I'm fine. Everything we're good, right?
Yeah, you know, I gotta say, we get a call, we get a text message, I should say, just before the show starts today. And Sabrina texts and she says, oof, you know, can't make it. Food poisoning. I'm not feeling well. And I think to myself, the only thing more suspicious than like the day after the Super Bowl when you take off sick is the day after a bachelor party, right? Day after the bachelor party weekend.
I can't really take that position because I have been sick the day after the Super Bowl.
Nobody's believing you though.
But back in the day, remember when I was losing my voice a lot? I was playing a lot of gigs and probably staying up too late, and I would come to work and I would just, you know, for a radio job to have no voice was troublesome. And I just woke up the day after the Super Bowl and I was like, I got the laryngitis.
I swear, like if it does happen to you, like maybe she actually got food poisoning. All right, let's consider that for a second. Even if it actually happens to you, it's so suspicious looking. It's like, hey, I know that you just had Fritz's bachelor party weekend, and for 3 days you were getting toasted, and you guys were having a blast, and that's fine. But then it's like, oh, it just so happens. First day back afterwards.
Maybe part of the bachelor party was like raw fish day.
They have the raw chicken challenge.
Yeah.
Just to wrap things up.
We forgot to do the raw chicken challenge at my bachelor party. So today on the show,
the raw chicken challenge. Here we go. Somebody says food poisoning is no bueno. Hope she feels better. Also, if you got food poisoning over on the coast and then somehow drove back to town, ooh, I mean, I don't even know if that's doable. I hope she feels better if she has food poisoning, but very suspicious timing on this one. We want to hear from you. Send us a dispatch. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now. All right, let's start things off. Ears to the ground, fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And right after the Super Bowl victory, not the Super Bowl victory, they're going to the Super Bowl as a result. Man, I got ahead of myself. I leaked out the script there for a second.
Oh, no.
Right after
NFL's rigged.
They figured out that they were going to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs, you had Taylor Swift heading through the tunnel of the arena. And as she's heading through the tunnel, a fan decides to shout something to her. Let's listen in.
I didn't do anything. Hey, Taylor, you're ruining football. I love you, Taylor.
You're ruining football, she says. A female fan at that, screaming out at Taylor Swift, you're ruining football. How? I'm not sure. I don't know. I've been able to ignore this almost completely other than just talking about it on the show.
It doesn't seem like something like, is it a distraction? Sure. If it's distracting the players, that needs to be on the players and the coaches.
Right.
But I don't think it's ruining football.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think many people think that, but I guess this one does.
Do I think, are there going to be some interesting additions? Like, I'm sure sometime this week or next week, we're going to go over Super Bowl prop bets and probably make some bets on something because we can use that app now.
Right.
And I'm sure there's going to be a prop like over under how many times Taylor Swift is shown on screen.
100%. I think you're right on that. Yeah, I mean, it would be crazy if there wasn't.
Right there next to heads or tails and what color the Gatorade's going to be.
Guys, we're here for the memes. We're here for the fun stuff, the weird stuff. This is the meme. Taylor Swift is the meme around the Super Bowl. We have this. It's been delivered to us on a platter. Just enjoy all the memes, please. I did like this. The guard for the Chiefs. And by the way, stop telling me I need to shave. I was going to shave before the show.
You look great.
I got sent sideways. I'll shave after the show, okay? That's going to happen after the show. Chiefs guard, Nick Allegretti, this dude, he was filling in for Joe Thuney, and he was out there doing his best and led the Chiefs, or helped out with a victory that brings them to the Super Bowl against the 49ers. And I love this, man. You know, focus on the stupid Taylor Swift stuff if you want to, but I legitimately love this. This one is good. All the news media, all their microphones in his face, and this is just a man who has wanted to be in the Super Bowl his whole life, reacting to the fact that he's going to be making it there, right? This is just a guy tied up in emotion, just enjoying his life at the moment. Here
Appreciative to be part of this organization. I just want to see my family. It was an emotional week, and
he's gonna cry.
Let's go win one. Man, the fans were incredible support. I tried to stay off Twitter, but every time I opened it, it was a ton of support towards me, and man, I'm not used to seeing anything on Twitter about myself, so that was incredible.
This is just a man excited about life. He is making it into the Super Bowl, and he cannot believe it himself. He's like, I tried to stay off Twitter, but I went on Twitter, and I saw him talking about me, and they're talking about little old me.
We got shots to go win another one. Let's go win one.
All right, buddy. Good job. Nick, the focus of this team, especially you, have to fill in with Joe out. What's it mean for you guys to accomplish the task and everything you had to go through the adversity?
It's incredible. I mean, you can't understate what Joe Thuney's meant to this team, and he'll never get enough credit for what he's done.
True.
With both organizations he's been a part of. And, you know, the guys, I had a challenge. The guys knew that, and they were there for me all week, helping me with communication, making sure that I was, you know, ingrained in this.
You did it, buddy.
Starting 5 this week, and God, I'm so proud of this team, so proud of that offensive line, and honored to be a part of it.
There he goes. Let's go win one, he says, as they head into the stretch before the Super Bowl here. Chiefs 49ers, baby. I already know who's going to win. I got the script. Did you get the script leaked to you in your email this morning?
You were supposed to BCC me on that.
I'll hit you up on that. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. I see people chiming in on chat so far. And Amy says she's just supporting her man, Taylor Swift is. If anything, she's made the NFL more popular. All Day Yuckers on Twitch says she's ruining football by having screaming girls next to their dads just trying to watch the game. But a lot of people are chiming in on this, and I'm sure you will with your dispatches as well. You should just shrug this off. It's really not going to have much of an impact on anything other than it's awesome publicity for everybody involved, and it's not going to ruin anything. Just watch the football game. If this was like, imagine this was like the WNBA, all right? I hate the fact that you might be forced to watch that, but imagine this was the WNBA, and there was some guy who was dating one of the players, and he happened to show up at the games.
Who would it have to be?
I don't know. I don't know who the famous ones even are in the WNBA.
No, not that. I meant what guy is that famous that would make people watch the WNBA because he's sitting in the stands?
Let's say Tom Brady starts dating a WNBA player. All right, and Tom Brady's showing up at the WNBA games. They keep showing him in the box.
Pulling Swift numbers.
You don't think so?
No.
Tom Brady's up there, and the camera is like, we pulled away, distracted by him, and everybody's like, Tom Brady. You think they're going to say Tom Brady's ruining the WNBA? You think women are going to complain about that at the games? I think like maybe 5 people would. And maybe it's 5 people on this, too.
I think the staff would be overwhelmed. I don't know what to do with all these people here.
We haven't prepared for this. How do we deal with this right now? We also have the coach of the losing team in the San Francisco and Detroit game, the coach of the Detroit Lions. Poor Lions, man. The Lions have sucked for so long. Poor Lions fans have been just trampled over for a decade plus. I know one of them. I feel sorry for the poor guy. They were having a Cinderella season, and then it all falls apart, and the coach says no regrets. No regrets on those fourth quarter decisions.
It's tough. There's questions.
Dan, you had 2 fourth down decisions that were critical in the second half, and neither one was...
What?
2 fourth down decisions that were critical in the second half. Neither one was converted. Particularly the second one. Why not take a field goal there and maybe stem the bleeding a little bit?
Yeah, I just felt really good about us converting and
you didn't
getting our momentum and not letting them play long ball. They were bleeding the clock out. That's what they do. And I wanted to get the upper hand back.
So we said no regrets on doing any of that. Sam on YouTube, I couldn't care less, but it's not her fault. People are paying attention to her. She shouldn't be banned because of that. She has every right to be there as anybody else does. It's just funny that it has everybody so enamored. To me, that's the funny part. That's the meme, that everybody is so enamored that, oh, my God, you have people arguing for it and against it. And, oh, wow. That's what we get. We get some excitement heading into the Super Bowl, and I am here for that. Okay, when we come back, we have so much to get into on a Monday. Our friend Amy Coughel will be joining us a little bit later on in the show. I got some questions for her. And also, I hate to say this, I hate to admit this, but I embarrassed the hell out of myself this weekend.
What'd you do?
Oh, God. I had one
Saturday
of those moments.
Or Sunday?
It was Saturday. Saturday, I embarrassed myself nice.
I know some of what you did Saturday.
Mm-hmm. It's a thing that you don't know I did Saturday.
Oh, okay.
And when I did it, I'll tell you about this. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Need to hear someone else's opinions before reconciling your own internal phobias? We got you, fam. Hey, Alexa, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Travel with caution. There's an accident on Reinhardt Road southbound before Highway 46. The left lane is blocked on Rouse Road due to an accident southbound near State Road 408, and the off-ramp is partially blocked from State Road 408 to the Greenway. All lanes are blocked. Authorities are clearing up that accident still on the Beach Line westbound. Expect delays eastbound as well. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa is ringing in 2024 in a big way with any 20 or 24-ounce freshly brewed hot coffee for just $2, including their new caramel cream flavor. Pour more of your favorite coffee at Wawa.
Attention, our friends from Guarantee Media are giving away 4 days in Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico with hotel and airfare included for only $99 to the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551. It's only for the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551. They give you up to a year and a half to travel, but you must be one of the first 50 to text MUSIC to 96551. Grab your phone and text the word MUSIC to 96551 for your chance to get 4 days in Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico with hotel and airfare included for only $99. That's MUSIC to 96551. You heard right. Be one of the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551 and get 4 days in Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico with hotel and airfare included for only $99. But you must be one of the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551. Text the word MUSIC to 96551 for your chance to go on vacation to Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico.
You're all set with your Medicare prescriptions, Mrs. Brown.
This is not just low-cost copays at Walgreens.
I can actually help you set up 90-day refills if you want.
This is having a partner you can trust. Get low-cost copays, 90-day refills, and delivery from your neighborhood Walgreens. This is being independent. Together. Walgreens.
Restrictions apply. For details, see walgreens.com/pharmacy.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart, it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back. Up Singers.
Backing you up. So I order food on EasyCater for a meeting with a new client in Jackson.
Gotta feed clients in Jackson.
On my way to the airport, it hits me. The client is actually in Jacksonville.
Feed clients in Jacksonville. See?
So I call EasyCater. Nina picks up right away.
Gonna fix it for you.
She called me right back and said you're all set.
Nina fixed the Jackson accident.
Jackson? EasyCater has your back with 24/7 support. Order at easycater.com and know.
We got your back.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series is where names are made. And at Daytona, those names are bringing a whole lot of smoke. Austin wants the smoke. Justin wants the smoke. Cole and Haley, give them all the smoke. There's plenty to go around. But remember, if you can smell the smoke, that means you're not the one making it. The NASCAR Xfinity Series at Daytona, February 17th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Don't be impressed when you hear someone settle their case for what may seem like lots of money. $500,000 seems like lots of money until you learn they lost both legs, had a brain injury, or were paralyzed and can never work again. All law firms are not the same. To see what your case may be worth, go to forthepeople.com and look at our verdicts and settlements for cases just like yours. Look before you leave. Hire the right lawyer. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Get ready for the big game with the free iHeartRadio app. Pre-game with perfectly tailored playlists like Big Game Tailgate Party and more. iHeartRadio has the perfect soundtrack for your pre-game party, whether it's just you or a block party for the entire neighborhood. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Tailgate, and listen now. Make the big game great with iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
No payments for 3 months with approved credit? Visit nationstrucks.com right now.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. 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 That's check. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. Good luck.
They're best friends. Unless they're fighting. Are they fighting? It's
And please, the folks watching on YouTube and twitch.tv/The News Junkie, rate your secondhand embarrassment of what happened to me this Saturday. Yeah, it was this weekend, and Celia was trying to go through the things that I did this weekend to figure out how I embarrassed myself.
I mean, just based on various text messages and stuff, there was one part where you had gone to a brewery, you went to Sideward, and you were asking for recommendations, and Josh and I had been there, so we were kind of just offering up what we had. And then you said something about not making it to the hockey game this weekend that I went to with Moses DeWitt and all of his crew. We had a great time out there. It was seeing the Solar Bears play. And you said it's because you got drunk at Wally's.
Yeah, not related to that. Thank God. Not related to that. But I
like,
did
if
feel...
you embarrassed us at Wally's, that's,
no, I didn't. I would never do that. But I got to tell you, I felt more left out than I've ever felt in my entire life going to that restaurant on Saturday because I was like, oh, I haven't heard of this place. Courtney says, we got to go there. Sideward Brewing. They have really good food and stuff and good drinks. And I don't really drink that much beer, but I went there. I had a beer called like Radio Brain, and I didn't get it.
It had radio in it.
I swear to God, I didn't get it because it had radio.
You sent that picture, or you posted a picture or something. I was like, I looked at Ashley and go, this nerd picture of Radio Brain because it's got radio in it.
I swear I didn't. I just looked at it and it said tropical, and I'm on like a tropical kick, and I go, I'm going to try that, and it was so good. And I've never really been into a beer before. So I like that, but then everybody I was trying to tell about the place had already been there. They're like, yeah, dummy, get this. Yeah, dummy, get this. And I'm like, oh, what the hell? Everybody's been to this place. Nobody told me about this.
That was one of the last places Ashley and I went to before, just having a little daytime hang before we went to the hospital to have the baby. Yeah. And so we looked around, and we were like, there were like a good handful of babies there. And we were like,
oh, yeah?
Is this what we're like we're being kind of siphoned off to having to go to breweries now because that's what people with kids do.
Yeah, that's the new spot.
The one thing that stood out, this, nobody's paying me to say this, but the one thing that stood out for me on their menu, it was very, very reasonably priced.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I didn't think, because we got like just some light bites and stuff, and I thought that for what we paid for, we were very well taken care of.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed myself. It was good. I did not embarrass myself there, though. Thank God. Nor did I afterwards at Wally's. No. I had when I woke up, I said, "Enough's enough. Got to get a damn haircut." I don't know if you're just being polite and not mentioning this, but my hair I had little curls behind the hat.
We don't see much of your hair,
buddy. It was bad. It's not the worst it's ever been, but it was pretty bad. So I said, let me go get a haircut, and I make an appointment. I hate getting my haircut. I put it off so long every single time. It takes me literally 5 minutes to get my haircut, but I still put it off every time. And I make an appointment, and I go over to Floyd's to get my haircut. Park my car in the parking lot. And as I'm walking up to the front door of the place, it's got like all glass windows in the front, so you can see inside there. And there's a bunch of like younger people in the front. And I'm like, all right, Sean. Get it together. Be cool. Don't fellow kids yourself here. Don't be a nerd. You're walking into some younger cool
guys,
folks.
Hope I don't look sus.
I'm like, get ready. I'm trying to think to myself. I'm like, what's the first thing I'm going to say? How do I because there's a little line. There's 2 or 3 people in the line at the front desk there. And I go, how can I introduce myself in a fun, cool way?
You're overthinking this, man.
Oh, yeah. I am analyzing this coming interaction way, way, way too hard. Like, how am I going to handle this? How am I going to operate? And I was like, just be cool. You got this, bro. And it was right about that time that I approached the curb right in front of the door. And I was so focused on the first cool thing I was going to say, I didn't lift my feet up to walk onto the curb. And I started tumbling forward, of course. And my arms are flailing, like a man falling into the water or something. My arms are just flailing around. And I smash in to the front door of the Floyd's like a gecko stuck to it,
And everybody looked up.
My arms are to the side, and my face is pressed against the front door of Floyd's. And all of these people rubbernecked around.
Yeah, I bet they did. Question.
Uh-huh.
Did you still get a haircut there?
I did.
Oh my gosh! What is wrong with you? I would have turned right around 180 and noped my way right out of there.
I plowed against. There's probably some security footage or something. My face, my arms, as I was flailing, plowed, and I stuck against the front window, like the door. With a clear glass window in it of the Floyd's. And all of the people that I was trying to think of my first sentence to, they all turned their heads at the same time. And then the worst thing in the world, now I open the door and there's a line from the front desk. So right in front of where I open the door, essentially the back of the line. So I can't go anywhere. And so I'm like, hey guys, how you doing? I got nowhere to hide. Nobody mentions it.
Me, the guy that just did that?
I'm the guy from outside of the other side of the door. And nobody mentions it. They're like, okay. Just terrible. You're right. I should have run. I should have just said, all right, I got to get my hair cut somewhere else. I can never come back to this establishment ever again.
I'll leave if I do an awkward job trying to get into a parking spot. And I'll go, you know what? This was not for me. And I'll go to the other side of the parking lot.
I'll pretend like I am not that guy. In fact, I'll go in and make fun of that guy afterward. You guys see the loser?
The parking spot?
What an absolute loser that guy was. All right, we're going to hear from you. We're going to get to these dispatches in just a moment as we get ready for the run-up, the big exciting run-up to the Super Bowl with the Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. Quick fact for you, okay? This is kind of insane to me, and this is one of those weird little math things that you may enjoy, C-Lane, and a whole bunch of people who are hating on the Taylor Swift Super Bowl stuff will rage about back home. They said Taylor Swift in Super Bowl 58. So, on Saturday, February 10th, at 6 p.m., so Saturday before the Super Bowl at 6 p.m., Taylor Swift has a concert in Tokyo, Japan.
Correct. I already looked this up.
She's going to be in Tokyo, Japan. The Super Bowl is in Las Vegas. And the flight for the Super Bowl is a 12-hour flight to get to Las Vegas from Tokyo. But Tokyo is 16 hours ahead of Las Vegas, even though she's going to be leaving Tokyo at noon on Sunday, the day of the Super Bowl. She'll still go back in time and get to Vegas at 8 a.m. on Sunday.
What? And then she can still take like a nap.
And take a nap, take a little naparino, and get there before the Super Bowl. So she leaves Tokyo on Sunday at noon and gets to Vegas on Sunday at 8 a.m., going back in time 4 hours. How weird is that? How I don't know if you would be okay. I feel like I would be so jet-lagged after that.
Remind me where Tokyo is again?
In Japan. Oh, no. Thought you actually didn't know for a second. I was like,
Japan!
You were ready.
My God.
You were like a cat ready to pounce. Like, you idiot. This is...
Who ran into the door this weekend?
Of all the easy Fritz on the street questions to be capitals. Is that the capital?
Yeah, I think maybe. I don't know, though. It could be another one. We could be looking like dummies right now together. But what a ride that's going to be. From a concert in Tokyo Saturday night to flying out Sunday at noon from Tokyo. 12-hour flight, lands you in Vegas before you even took off, so you're back in time at 8 a.m. on Sunday.
If you're
the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl kickoff is 3:28, so you like C-Lane said, you can get a nice little sleep in, and then you're good to go.
If you're the person that like is in charge of scheduling for Taylor Swift, like doing her flights and hotels and how she getting from point A to point B, do you have to just have an otherworldly understanding of time?
I guess so.
Because, like, to me, like, oh, yeah, the flight from Tokyo, Japan, but you're going to get here, there. And I'm like, where? I don't, it's mind-bottling. It literally bottles the mind.
I'd have to have a time guy, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I hire somebody on my staff.
Don't call me. I'm not the time guy.
Oh, you'd be time guy, and I'd be like, what's the local time, and what's the time back home? All right, those are the things I need to know. You keep me in the loop here on what's going on, and the rest is history. But she's still going to make it somehow, some way. Eddie on YouTube says, and people are going to hate because she can hop on a private jet to a Super Bowl game at her discretion. Well, hate, but God, I mean, I think a lot of that's just pure jealousy. I'd do it if I could.
By the way, yeah.
On a whim.
A lot of the people who are at the Super Bowl probably are there because they hopped on a private jet to go there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of the big NFL officials, anybody who can afford to stand in one of those boxes and not be serving people their drinks, is there because they have some sort of income that allows them to do that.
They're probably rich, right? Yeah. Arnott on YouTube says, Taylor is ruining the news junkie. Well, it's spreading. It's everywhere. It's ever present. You can't get away from it. There is something that Courtney just, I think, kind of realized happens over this weekend, and she was very upset, perturbed by this. She said, this needs to stop, Sean. She's very big on, like, fairness and, things being just fair for all involved. And when she sees something that's unfair, she's a woman of the people, and she rages and says that we got to right this great wrong here. I'm going to tell you what she saw this weekend, and I was like, you were just catching on to this now? I'm fighting with you, all right? We're fighting together. What was this all about? We'll find out. We got that. We got Amy K coming up and a whole lot more as Monday rolls on. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Ken, and Mike. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hi there, here's your midday weather forecast update. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. Today, breezy and the high temperature only reaching close to 62 degrees. That's about 10 degrees cooler than normal. Make sure you have a light jacket with you if you're heading out. Tonight, down into the 40s, the wind calming down. Tomorrow, mid and upper 60s, ultimately warming up to 70 by the end of the week. So it will be a very pleasant and very quiet, very sunny week, followed by thunderstorms, strong ones by Sunday. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa has pizza. Get $5 off pizza when you order in the Wawa app or on your favorite delivery app starting at 4 p.m. Gotta have a Wawa.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart, it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
This is Jeff Kaufman from the Injury Law Firm of Kaufman Lind and the Under Oath podcast. Here's some more free advice. After you get into a car accident or experience any other injury, you cannot imagine what the insurance companies will do to fight your claim. They will go through your social media accounts, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or any other site you post on. They will use photos of you smiling to suggest you were not injured, that your life has not been impacted, all to avoid paying your medical expenses. Be careful when you post online. It's not if, but when you get into an accident. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial #546.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart, it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Explore bizarre tales in the Very Special Episodes podcast hosted by Dana Schwartz and friends. Every Wednesday, they'll tackle a new stranger-than-fiction story, like NASA agents cracking down on a black market moon rock trade, a poison Titanic cast, and Mark Twain's pivotal bar fight. New from iHeart Podcasts.
That is every single one of these episodes. It is the fodder for you to say, I heard the craziest story on this podcast.
Listen to Very Special Episodes on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
No matter how hectic mornings get, I can always count on breakfast at McDonald's. And with their buy one, get one for $1 deal, the choices are even better. Right now, you can choose between the Egg McMuffin on a toasted English muffin topped with real butter, the Sausage McMuffin with egg, freshly cracked on a toasted English muffin, or the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit brushed with real butter. Mornings can be unpredictable, but breakfast at Mickey D's is in the bag. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
People think Florida is salty because most of our state is surrounded by salt water. But it's the other states that are salty. Why? Because we get to enjoy McDonald's breakfast bagels year-round. You see, most parts of the country aren't as lucky as us and can't wake up to a steak, egg, and cheese bagel with a tender, juicy steak patty and savory grilled onions, or a sausage, egg, and cheese bagel with a sizzling hot pork sausage patty, or a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel with thick-cut applewood smoked bacon. Enjoy savory breakfast bagels only at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. At participating McDonald's.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in an accident and would like to know the value of your case, go to forthepeople.com to see cases just like yours. You see, all lawyers are not the same. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Three best friends diving into the deep end of internet culture.
Today's no different, but I want to hear your voice. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. We got our friend Amy Coughel joining us before too long here today. And I saw this story that ties in with something that Courtney went over this weekend. She was very upset. She found out something. I don't know how she's missed this for a while. But she said, this is not fair. This is not fair. We must rage against this, and I'll rage right along with her. But there's a story out of Louisiana where they said a man impersonating a police officer attempted to pull over a pickup truck unknowingly driven by a Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office deputy sheriff. So they said this dude was trying to pull somebody over, like fake being a cop, and the person he pulled over was a off-duty police officer, so not the best person to pull over. They said they activated flashing blue lights mounted on top of the vehicle to initiate a fake traffic stop. Ignoring the impersonator's maneuver, the deputy initiated a legitimate traffic stop. Forget your fake traffic stop. I'm doing the legit one here, they said, and pulled this guy over. He, of course, gets himself in trouble. But this brings up the discussion that we had this weekend, because she saw something that I've seen 8 billion times. And Courtney said, this is not fair. Why are they able to do this? And she saw a police officer. All right, so this cop, whenever I see a cop these days, I grab the steering wheel a little bit tighter, make sure all my mirrors are in the right direction, make sure I'm not speeding, following all the laws. I'm probably not on good graces with a lot of the boys in blue out there, and that's fine. I was in the right and you were in the wrong, all right? Suck it. But so
really doing a lot to mend that.
I don't mend fences and build bridges. I burn them down. That's what I'm here for. So Courtney sees this police officer pull up to an intersection, and when the officer gets to the intersection, he whoop whoop, hits the lights, hits the siren, and boom, cruises through the intersection and hauls ass down the road. And not 100 yards on the other side of the light, the sirens go off. The lights go off. The cop's driving normal again. And she's like, do they just turn their lights on and their sirens on just to blow through stoplights sometimes? And I said, yes, indeed they do. Indeed, police officers pretend there's an emergency to go through stoplights that they don't feel like waiting for. Yes, and she's like, that's not fair. Why would they do that? How come nobody pulls them over? And I said, other than one incredibly based cop that I've seen in a story we covered on the show, where there was a police officer, I think it was locally, a police officer was speeding in his patrol car, and another cop in their patrol car pulled the cop over. And he was so incensed that another cop pulled him over. He was screaming. He was just raging about this. And he drove away, fled the scene of this incident. And I believe that cop ended up getting in trouble. A rarity, I know, amongst police officers who do bad things. But yes, not only do cops do this, but cops do this incredibly regularly. And I wish there would be anybody, any sheriff, anybody who pulls into power at the police department who would say, hey, let's actually make sure all of law enforcement is being held accountable to the very same laws as everybody else.
I mean,
wouldn't that be nice?
Technically, they are. He turned on the lights. The lights allow him a little bit of leeway here. Then he turned off the lights.
Is he committing a crime there, though?
I don't think he is. And furthermore, I've never really cared about that. Like the whole you get to run some red lights thing. I mean, on account of you've gone through extensive training. You are putting your life on the line, to protect people. I say give him the freebie. Let him run the red lights.
Half these guys are traffic cops, never putting their life on the line once in their entire careers, making a good paycheck, and just knowing that they don't have to follow the same rules as everybody else out there. And I get annoyed by that, too. I find that to be annoying. Now, my good cops out there, and there are a lot of you who listen to this show, keep in mind, I know you hear me railing against stuff like this. I'm not talking about you, because there are good cops out there, a lot of them, in fact. They'll follow the rules and don't do stuff like this. I think even the good cops
do this. I think even the good cops do it. I'm like, there you go. Attaboy. As you were,
Why
officer.
are you supporting this? These guys are assholes. They're like, I'm going to abuse my power to blaze through this red light.
That is the softest abuse of power I could think of.
Sure, it's better than shooting a guy. I get that. I grant you that. But it's like, it's the most flagrant thing. Right? And like, why even turn on your lights and siren? We know what you're doing. Like, we know what's going on here. It's as if, do you think that we think dispatch said, oh my God, there's been a shooting, calling all cars. You go through the light and they go, never mind, my bad. That was an accident. And you turn off the siren 100 yards down the street. No. We know what you're doing. Okay. We know what's happening out there. And you're just not scared in the slightest to be the cop that blazes through the light that's taking too long. Jennifer on YouTube says, my friend was a traffic cop and was hit and killed by a person he attempted to pull over.
Wow.
I would say they're putting their life on the line. Jennifer, yes, I'm sorry for what happened to your friend, but most cops don't have to put their lives on the line at any point in their careers. Okay, most cops don't have to do that.
Come on.
Sorry, I'm just going to hit you with it. Firefighters, too. Sorry. Most of the time, it's a kitchen fire. Grease fire did it, and you get out there. And a lot of them are great, but you got a whole bunch of them just thinking that they live by a different set of rules. Why? Because there's a lot of hero worship that goes on. It's like people who legitimately will pass cops and, like, do the head nod to them. Like, there, boys in blue. There you are. You can, like, C-Lane. Old bootlicker C-Lane back at the studio.
I'm not licking boots.
They say he's saluting the fact that these cops
say let them run some red lights.
Run through the red lights. She was like, I can't believe they can do that.
I want to get in the car and run red lights with them.
No, you know who I like? You know who I celebrate? The cop that pulls over the other cop. In fact, I'll throw it out there. Any cops that pull over other cops and give them tickets for this, I will give you $500 cash. If you pull over another police officer for breaking the rules.
This sounds illegal. This sounds somehow illegal.
Hey, if it's illegal,
I'm going to text Moses right now.
My lawyer will need to get me in line, turn on the red light in the studio saying I'm going too far again. But I believe that these folks who are cops who are policing cops should be the absolute heroes of all the bunch out there that you could look at. I think they're the best. And I think if you see another cop do the old fake siren and light thing and then blaze through the stoplight and pretend like they're going to save somebody, the cop that pulls them over, all the shekels to you. Brisby on YouTube. Wasson never risked his skin for anything. Try pulling a car over and tell me they don't put their lives in line. You guys are you do know, right? You do know that literally millions of traffic stops happen every single day in this country. And 99.999999999% of them go off without a hitch and simply involve a driver that is now scared to death that they're going to say something wrong to piss a cop off and get a ticket that's higher than it could have been, right? I mean, tell me you're not that sucked into this vortex of worship that you think this is like a regular interaction for these folks. And you've fallen into the vortex so far that, like C-Lane, you're celebrating the cops that blaze through the stoplights with a fake call. Pretend
every time it happens.
They pretend that there's something. Oh no, got another one of those calls. Happens to be right here at the red light. Oh boy. Sticky Leaves on YouTube says, my buddy's a firefighter, and he says they don't do much but help out old folks. Now, I've seen the hero firefighters. I have watched a video not that long ago, body cam video, and the firefighter actually smashed with like a pickaxe through a window, jumped into a burning trailer, went into, you couldn't see anything in there, went in, pulled a little kid out of it, brought him out the window and saved his life. There are heroes amongst firefighters, but let's be honest, firefighters, a lot of you guys are just chilling out, making the best damn chili on the face of the planet, and hanging out at the fire station, waiting for the next idiot who burned his kitchen down. Right? That's like that. We got to be honest. We got to be real. That's the majority of what we see going on.
Is that why firefighters are somehow have this like aura where they're all really good cooks?
I think they are. I think if you go into any firehouse or most firehouses in the United States of America and sit down and go like, hey, what you guys eating today? Those guys are eating good. They are eating good stuff.
I never got it. Like when Firehouse Subs first opened and they're like, it was, they're basically like, this was built by firemen, so you know it's good. I was like, wait, they're all really good cooks? Aside from putting out fires and doing all the other fireman stuff, they just all are really studs in the kitchen?
Yeah, they have a lot of time. They sit there and wait for that next bell to ring for them to get in the big red truck and go put out the fire. There's a lot of time for them to figure this stuff out. That's why it's a sweet job. Plus the schedule. God, they got some good stuff going on. Wasson, you really are a fool if you think pulling somebody over doesn't involve risk, says Terry on YouTube. I'm interested in the numbers on this. In traffic stops in the last year,
you're making the commercial air flight argument right now. They're like millions and millions of flights happen every day.
I just think it's true.
Crashes.
I just think it's true. I'm saying this. There are all the traffic stops that we see each year. Let's take last year. I'll look up the numbers during the break. I wonder if more cops died during those traffic stops or more people were killed by cops during those traffic stops, right? To say where the danger is. Which one of those two is more likely to happen? That the person being pulled over is killed by the cops or that the cop is killed by the person who's being pulled over, right? That's the thing that I wonder when we look at this. So do cops risk their lives? Yes, of course they do. But come on, y'all. We've all seen them blow through these stoplights. And they do it because they know that there will be no repercussions. And to C. Lane's point, if I were a cop, it would be very tempting not to do it myself.
Hell yes.
Because some of the lights, you got that one light where you go, oh, the idiots who timed this light. Every time I get to this stoplight, it's 35 minutes.
Don't you wish it was possible to test drive a cop car just so you could leave the lot and just go run a red light and come back?
Oh, I've always dreamed, because I've seen this in movies before, that you could buy this electronic thing that you press and it make all the lights turn green. I always dreamed about that being a thing.
I think that was a thing.
Was it?
Was/is. I read an article once that there was a device that they had to remove from eBay. Mm-hmm. They had to stop people from selling them because it's only for emergency vehicles. I think more for ambulances than police cars. But it was some sort of device that was supposed to, and maybe this is just like an urban myth, and like everybody wants a printer that just prints out dollar bills.
Yes,
it was supposed to somehow affect the traffic light in your favor.
Yeah. Oh God, what would I do with that for that? But it gets me that you have people who just give cops a pass. There's a lot of you in chat right now. You are the cucks in this world of the people in the police. And it's embarrassing how much a lot of people, and for those of you on the right that are so much about like individualism and pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and, just being your own man and all that, there's a ton of people on that side I've found over the years who are way into the cop worship stuff. I don't get that. A cop comes and helps me out. Cop does something good. I'm going to salute that cop. I'm going to say, great job. I'm going to say, you are an awesome example for police out there. You got like good sheriffs in certain towns. I'm going to salute that sheriff. I'm going to say, awesome. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt when I can. But if you look at every circumstance and go, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You, my friend, are the most cucked of anybody out there that you might interact with
Cucker
and yell
Carlson.
at.
Nice all day yuckers.
I find that to be so cringe. I've seen it so many times with the SWAT team thing that I had going on here in town. There was a couple people, probably people who are dating people in law enforcement, who would be like, if you just listen to what they said, Sean. What? How are you living your life? You just listen to everything people say around you? Like, especially a cop. If a cop comes over to you and tells you to do something, if it's like outlandish, immoral, and obviously wrong, or you just don't have to do it because you don't have to do that thing, you just do it. It's how you're living your life. Be an individual, for Christ's sake. My God, you're better than that. Treat yourself better than that. All right, I'm ready to dig into the dispatches. I think I've swatted the hornet's nest enough to get something out of you. Anyways,
you've already
let's go over
the
to
SWAT nest before, so
might as well invert it, right? Here
somebody
is...
told me I was right. Somebody said Chad
about
said,
changing the lights.
Yeah, Chad said older traffic signal preemption was based upon a strobe light that you could have on your vehicle. Newer technology is being used now, but there was a time where they were selling some sort of strobe or some sort of infrared or something, and you could find them on eBay. And they got outlawed real quick.
Oh, that would be so cool. Imagine the power you would feel hitting that button every single time. Lloyd on YouTube says, Sean, you're right. All firemen are good cooks. Of course, when we say all, we mean most. But he says, I'm a retired firefighter, and I do think it's wrong for cops to do that. I've seen a cop do that in a school zone where the bus was letting kids out. Yeah, I've seen stuff like this.
Yeah, even better.
Plow over the tykes. Just take them out, stuck to the front of your car. All right, let's see. We got some dispatches to get to, so let's work in some of those. Here's Bart versus Bill Gates talking to us.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Listen to you all talk about the police officers running the red lights. I grew up in a family of police, and I remember when I first saw that, I was pretty mad when I first saw that, too. I was kind of a kid. And wasn't kind of a kid, I was a kid. But anyways, basically they told me that the reasoning behind it can be that they're on their way to a crime scene that may be like a tense situation and they don't want to roll up with lights and sirens going, or they're on their way to maybe like a non-emergency call.
Yeah.
But they still need to get there in a reasonable or quick amount of time. So instead of throwing the lights
Please.
on.
Look, this is the excuse that cops make. They go, look, sometimes, we get that dispatch call. We think we're headed to the scene and we're going to save the day. And then they say, oh, no, call it off. We don't need to get you. That's what they say. This is equivalent to when you go to prison. If somebody's in for like a sex crime, if somebody's in for anything that seems like, could be diddling kids, they're all like, no. I'm on the sex offender list because I was at a rest stop and I was peeing and the cops pulled up and they shone their flashlight on me. And I was like, oh my God, officer, I'm just peeing. And they hit me with sex offender status. Bam, just like that. I'm a sex offender. Oh, God, that was a really dumb thing for me to say out loud.
Dude, I turned the mic off.
It's the same thing. It's just going, hey, look, this is our excuse that we're going to throw out. So when we do this on purpose a million times, we get away with it because other people will excuse us for it. All right, we're going to go back to more of you, plus our friend Amy Coughel. She's going to be joining us. That and a whole lot more coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
Watch out for a bit of delays on Florida's Turnpike. Authorities are clearing up an accident near State Road 50, exit 272. The right lane is blocked. All lanes are blocked westbound on the beach line. Expect lane closures eastbound due to an accident near Innovation Way. Use State Road 520 as an alternate route. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa is ringing in 2024 in a big way with any 20 or 24-ounce freshly brewed hot coffee for just $2, including their new caramel cream flavor. Pour more of your favorite coffee at Wawa.
Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival returns June 13th through the 16th, and Real Radio 104.1 wants to send you and a pal to the farm in Manchester, Tennessee. You'll see performances from Red Hot Chili Peppers, Post Malone, Megan Thee Stallion, Maggie Rogers, Cage the Elephant, and many more across 10 stages. Head to realradio.fm/contest for your chance to win tickets and camping pass. Or head to Bonnaroo.com to grab your tickets now.
A Fifth Third Better means we put in 166.7%.
What does that mean?
Well, at Fifth Third Bank, our name equals 166.7%. So that's how hard we work. That means free checking, no hidden fees, and helping to protect your identity.
Explain it in baseball terms?
It's a home run.
Basketball terms?
It's a slam dunk.
Football.
Touchdown.
Highlight?
Buzzball.
Cricket.
Golden duck.
Wow. Guess that really is a Fifth Third Better.
That's what a Fifth Third Better means. This is banking a Fifth Third Better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
When you call me for an injury case, you don't pay a dime unless we win. The call and the advice are always free. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorneys.
The number one cause of accidents is distracted driving, like cell phones, eating, and playing with the radio. So leave it right here on Real Radio. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
In this week's Marketers Report, we learn about the value of local influencers in uncertain times from Allison Griffin, head of marketing at State Farm.
The economy is tough for everyone, and taking a step back and understanding the pain that your customers are currently going through because of a tough environment is really important. We have 19,000 agents across the country, and they understand what's going on in those very unique communities. iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is local, connected, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the number one audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
You made it through the holidays. Now it's time to figure out if that constant sniffle is a cold or allergies. Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help. I know, you're busy. Who has time to get an allergy test and go in for weekly allergy shots? At Aspire, we make it easy by providing same-day results and a treatment plan tailored just for you. Forget the over-the-counter meds. Aspire has solutions that actually work, so you can say goodbye to allergies for good. Go to AspireAllergy.com to schedule your appointment. That's AspireAllergy.com.
Guys, here in Central Florida, it is so important your air conditioner works perfectly every time. That's why I suggest a call to our friends at Mills Air. In business since 1992, that's 30 years of experience in keeping Central Florida nice and cool. And their techs are awesome. They can service any brand out there. Don't worry about what kind of AC you have. And Mills Air is a Carrier factory authorized dealer, which means up to $1,275 in rebates towards a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to family owned and operated Mills Air. Call today and schedule your appointment. 407-277-1159. Online, millsair.com.
A massive data leak, being called the mother of all breaches, has been announced. Billions upon billions of records with sensitive data from previous breaches, newly stolen data, and privately sold databases have been exposed. Cybercriminals can use this information to commit identity theft. Help protect yourself and join the millions who trust LifeLock. LifeLock detects identity threats and alerts you if your information is being used. If you become a victim, LifeLock will work to fix it. Save up to 25% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
We all make resolutions this time of year, and let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but will help you feel healthier all year long. Navage. Navage provides quick, drug-free nasal relief by washing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. This time of year, when everyone is sick, Navage helps by sucking out germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. And unlike medications that can take time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage helps treat congestion symptoms in seconds flat, without drugs. This New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Think orange for your next vehicle. OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. B-O-N-U-S. Bonus. That's bonus. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. Good luck.
Dispensing unsolicited advice on a wide range of pointless topics.
It's a dispatch. Go to the newsjunkie.com. In the meantime, it is Monday, and that means it is time to hang out with our friend Amy Coughel from Fox 35. There she is. Hey, Amy.
Hey, guys. Hey, happy Monday. Good to see you.
How's everything in your world? What's going on with you?
Good. It's been a crazy day already.
Yeah.
So we started this new, we're trying to be like more cool like you guys. So we started this like new streaming show right after the show. I'm calling it Good Day Extra. So now we're doing this little streaming thing, or it's like very casual. We just sit around and talk and like, try not to say anything that's going to get us into trouble.
I like that.
It's hard. The whole trying not to say things that are going to get you into trouble is challenging.
I do the opposite.
We just don't do that.
Have you said anything? Have you said anything yet where you're like, oh?
No, but you see, like as journalists, we can't talk about anything controversial, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, because we're not allowed to have opinions on controversial stuff. So like you guys can, it's kind of a free for all. You can just say whatever your thoughts and feelings are, but we have to be more guarded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? You could, but the moment you put down an opinion on anything, being an actual journalist and news person, people are like, you're completely corrupt and your part is, oh my God.
They're soiling the sanctity of the news.
Yeah. And some people, not Fox 35 viewers, mind you. I am not talking about Fox 35 viewers, but there are some people who watch local news who are really mean about the stuff that they send in. I've seen like criticism from news reporters across the country. And people will, they'll judge you on your outfits. Oh, God.
Your hair, your makeup.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Luckily, you're immune to that because your hair and your outfit on point. Fantastic. Looking
Thanks,
perfect
Sean.
today.
I don't need listeners to judge my outfits. I have a boss for that.
But you guys don't have to worry about that stuff. I used to love working in radio, and when I was in college, I'd get up and I did that morning radio show, and I would just get up and put my hair in a ponytail and head to work, and I didn't have to worry about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
It was nice.
A little secret about me, Amy. Just this is the truth, and this is a fact about the difference between our jobs. At some point last year, when I had dropped a couple of pounds, I only had one pair of black jeans that fit me real nice, that I thought were nice and comfortable. And I wore those jeans for the last 6 months of 2023. No one ever said anything.
Did you wash them?
Yeah, of course.
I was going to say, because otherwise Courtney would be like, see you, Sean, I'm out of here.
No, of course, I washed them.
Yeah, they actually walked to the washer themselves.
They didn't smell that bad. Everything was good. But I got to tell you, there's like 6 months I wore those jeans every single day doing the show, and nobody ever said anything. It's just not fair.
Okay. So how often do you wash your jeans? Because I tell my kids that you only wash jeans after you've worn them a couple of times, unless they're like stained or something, or you wore them to the farm.
Yeah, I generally do my laundry personally on.
Not true, Amy. That is a bold-faced lie.
Do you really do your own laundry?
No, I did that. It's kind of like what do they call it? Purposeful incompetence, the trend that's going around, where somebody tells you, "Hey, can you do the dishes?" and you do the dishes, but you do such such a miserable
Do them
job.
terribly.
Yeah, that they go,
break half of them.
Forget it. I'll do it myself. It's not even that. She just doesn't want me around any of this stuff. She knows that I'll screw up her nice clothes, and she doesn't want that. So I don't even know where the washer.
So you don't know what the longevity of your jeans is.
No.
But like, when you take them off at night, do you put them in the hamper or do you put them back in the drawer?
I put them on the ground.
Oh, that's lovely. Sean.
Yeah. She's losing respect for me by the minute.
Honestly, I'm just glad to hear that I'm not the only one.
Where do you put your jeans when you take them off? Do you throw them on the floor too?
Well, I was putting them on like a dog crate, but we got rid of the dog crate, so it's floor now. Yeah.
All right. Can I tell you something, and you won't pass personal judgment on me, Amy?
Oh, I will, but yes, go ahead.
so I put them on the floor, and then I go to sleep. And then the next morning, right before I get ready, I pick them up, and I go, and I get I get a smell of the overall.
Which part of the jeans do you smell?
Just the jeans in general, you know?
Okay, you don't smell like the certain area?
No, I kind of ball them up a little bit. I might be getting one side or the other.
You're getting your answer, Amy. The area in question is part of the ball.
Yeah, I ball them up, and then I put that ball in front of my nose, and I go, all right, these are good. Yeah, these are good to go.
So, okay, Sean, it's so funny because you're a parent of a son, right? So I do this with Colton's laundry. So I go into his room, and he has a terrible habit of everything that he puts on, whether it's clean or dirty, gets thrown on the floor. It drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's exactly what I do. And if it still smells like, Downy Fresh, like whatever the dryer sheet was that I threw in the dryer with the clothes, if it still smells dry or fresh, then it's good. But I do actually smell certain parts of the clothes just to see, like,
you got to.
disinfect.
Yeah, you have to stay on top of things. It's the best way to handle life, I think. All right,
every mom does it.
What's grabbing your attention today? Lots of stuff going on.
Well, a couple things. We've got an update on the Amber Alert that went out this morning out of Pinellas County. This was the 8-year-old girl that was abducted from the home. There was actually a death investigation going on inside that home as well. So they are still investigating that. I don't know anything more about who exactly was dead inside the house, but the father is accused of taking her out of the house. The father has since been arrested, so that is no longer an Amber Alert. The little girl is thankfully okay. So that's the good news there.
Yeah.
So that's good. We're following a couple stories a little closer to home in Central Florida. We had 2 officers that were shot in Palm Bay yesterday as a result of some kind of domestic call that they went on. So those officers are still in the hospital. We don't know the nature of their injuries, how bad the injuries are. We're just told they'll survive. So we're going to be following up on that today. And just a myriad of other just like crazy stories from over the weekend. We had 2 people that were killed inside of a home over the weekend, and the guy that is alleged to have killed them came back to the house while police were still investigating. So they arrested him. Yeah, that's another really strange
I've heard
story.
of people returning to the scene of the crime, but
very common.
Yeah, I wouldn't think as the police were investigating the crime.
Yeah, he came back to the house, and I don't know if he admitted to them that he did it or exactly how they ended up placing him under arrest, but he's charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. So we're following up on that today. So we just got a bunch of stuff like that that's just kind of crazy. That the governor's talking about sending potentially National Guard members here from Florida to the border. You guys know the border story is just really blowing up right now. So that could be an interesting update. Texas is kind of at odds with the federal government about how to secure the border. So we've been talking about that a lot too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are very, very, very interested in about how bad things have gotten at our southwestern border. And there was prior to this not a ton of coverage of all of this. And I think that leads to like a pressure cooker where people get even more mad about it. But now you got this heading into a general election, and it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
So that's certainly going to be one of the big stories that we see pushing forward here, and that'll be a very interesting one to watch. I know everybody was talking this morning about we've got the team set for the Super Bowl, Amy.
Yeah.
And we got.
Did you guys watch the football games last night? I know you guys are big sports fans.
I caught the very end of the Lions 49ers game.
That was crazy.
I caught some on our radio station because we were broadcasting the games here locally. And and the interesting thing is Courtney was pulling big for the Chiefs, and I was like, why do you want the Chiefs to win? And she goes, oh, because it's fun. People get mad about the Taylor Swift thing, and that's fun. And I was like, okay, all right, okay. So we weren't watching the game, but she was walking around the house when she knew the game was on, and every 15 minutes or so, she would ask Alexa what the update was, like what
the score was.
Yeah, and so like paying attention that way via proxy. And I saw somebody say earlier, they're like, "Do you think the Taylor Swift component will lead to bigger ratings?" And I thought to myself for a moment, I said, usually a huge amount of people watch the Super Bowl every year. But
like 100 million.
But who are the people who don't watch the Super Bowl? And then if I said the crossover between people who don't watch the Super Bowl and Taylor Swift fans is probably pretty decent.
Do you think that's enough? Like, Taylor Swift's not performing at the Super Bowl. If she was, that would be a huge spike. If only just for halftime, but it would be there. But is it going to be just to a lot of people that are tuning in just to see her react to touchdowns?
I don't know. I think it'll make them more likely to pay a little attention. Like, let's see what's going on with that. Let's tune into that.
Because they're constantly cutting away to see like her reaction, and then like she's been bringing like her little celebrity friends to the box with her to watch the game. So it's not just her; it's also like
friends.
like.
Do you think Taylor's ruining football, Amy?
What's that?
Are you on the Taylor's ruining football train?
No, I mean, I find it entertaining when they show the cutaways. I actually enjoy watching football, so I would be watching anyway. But I do find it entertaining to like see like who she's hanging out with in the suite. Like I'm like, oh, like who's she hanging out with this time? Or like sometimes she'll be sitting next to like her boyfriend's mom, or sometimes she'll be sitting with like Patrick Mahomes' wife, or sometimes. So it's like you're always just like kind of curious to see what she's wearing, what she's doing. I don't know, it's fun.
All right, what I'm going to say now is going to lead to much more hate than anything I've said so far during the show today, okay? But I'm going to put this out there. I'm just going to toss this out there, all right? The one that Taylor Swift is with is Travis Kelce, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and these like they're brothers or whatever.
Jason, his brother, plays for the Eagles, yes.
Personally, I don't get it. You don't
think he's cute?
I don't think he's that good looking to land like a Taylor Swift level.
Yeah.
I don't think
have you seen her other boyfriends, Sean? None of them have been very good looking.
I haven't gotten a single phone call.
Like big on the whole looks thing.
She hasn't texted me once. I'm taken, but it would be flattering to at least get the offer. But Travis Kelce he looks like every other football guy to me. He doesn't even look like he's like some spectacular
maybe he does
dude.
have a podcast that he does with his brother, and they're pretty funny. I mean, they're entertaining to listen to. So I assume he has a good personality. He seems fun to be around.
We have a podcast too, Amy. You
guys are fun. I like to hang out. I hang out with you guys every Monday. And you're cute.
I can vouch.
What the heck? You got
now you're lying.
No, it's true.
I can vouch.
I just don't think she's big on the whole looks thing, right? And he doesn't seem like just like a kind of like a meathead football player. Like he seems to have some substance to him.
His brother is hilarious. I can vouch for their podcast.
They're really funny on the show.
My wife started listening to their podcast before any of this Taylor Swift stuff. She just liked it because they were both going to the Super Bowl and playing each other, and she started listening to the podcast. And all the stories about Jason Kelce are hilarious. He met his wife on Tinder, and he's a football star. Yeah. And,
wow.
And I think he passed out drunk on their first date.
He's the shirtless one, right? That was in the
that's him.
Yeah, it looks like he knows how to have a good time. I don't understand all the hate. Let everybody have fun and watch the football game, for God's sake. I think we can all enjoy this together.
And you guys know we have the Pro Bowl coming to Orlando this coming weekend, so that should be fun too. So that'll be all the non-Super Bowl players because nobody wants to risk getting injured. Not that they really, do anything that get themselves injured anyway. But,
yeah, very true.
But yeah, that should be fun. That's happening down at Camping World Stadium. So,
all right, always a blast to talk to you. We really appreciate
you guys. Love ya.
We love you too, and we'll talk to you next week. There she goes, Amy Coughel, Fox 35. Make sure you are watching every single day. What a glorious setup she has over there. And watch this new thing. We have a ton of people who watch us streaming the show. Before we're on, you're sitting there looking for something else to stream. Go for it. There's what's it called? Good Day Extra. Did I get that right?
Good Day Extra. Yeah.
Good Day Extra. Watch them on their streaming accounts and make sure you're catching up with that.
It's a good thing you didn't go with the name that Sean did for his after show, which was After Show or ASS for short.
Yeah, I didn't realize that after show would line up the. It's not great. Not great.
I like.
All right, we'll see you next week, Amy.
Bye, guys. Love you.
There she goes. Okay, we're back in just a moment, running a little bit late, so we got to take a break. And then I want to talk about something that had everybody up in arms over the weekend. But I think we could sort this out together. Plus, I'm sure you have reactions to the stuff that's been said so far on the show, so we'll let you have your opinion, and your dispatches will come through momentarily. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Checking in on Florida's Turnpike, authorities are clearing up an accident southbound at State Road 50, exit 272. The right lane is blocked. Traffic is backed up to Hancock Road. All lanes are blocked westbound on the Beach Line near Innovation Way. Expect lane closures eastbound as well. Consider using State Road 520 as an alternate route. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa has pizza. Get $5 off pizza when you order in the Wawa app or on your favorite delivery app starting at 4 p.m. Gotta have a Wawa.
Hey, big shout out and congratulations to Joe and Mary out of Deltona. They're both listeners of the show. They were ready to upgrade their driving situation, so they went down to Nation's Trucks over the weekend, and they left in their very own lifted 2021 Jeep Gladiator Rocky Ridge 4x4, and you can be next. Ford, Chevy, Ram, GMC, Nation's Trucks has got them all, and with approved credit, you won't make any payments for 3 months. So visit nationstrucks.com today, or just go on down and see them in Sanford, 1792, just 1 mile south of Lake Mary Boulevard. Let them know C-Lane from the News Junkies sent you.
It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose, making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible, so Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Sunshine came softly through my window today.
Florida truly is the Sunshine State, and it shows in everything we grow. When you shop, choose Fresh from Florida.
'Cause I made my mind up, you're going to be mine. I tell you right now.
Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Explore bizarre tales in the Very Special Episodes podcast hosted by Dana Schwartz and friends. Every Wednesday, they'll tackle a new stranger-than-fiction story, like NASA agents cracking down on a black market moonrock trade, a poisoned Titanic cast, and Mark Twain's pivotal bar fight. New from iHeart Podcasts.
That is every single one of these episodes. It is the fodder for you to say, I heard the craziest story on this podcast.
Listen to Very Special Episodes on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You made it through the holidays. Now it's time to figure out if that constant sniffle is a cold or allergies. Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help. I know, you're busy. Who has time to get an allergy test and go in for weekly allergy shots? At Aspire, we make it easy by providing same-day results and a treatment plan tailored just for you. Forget the over-the-counter meds. Aspire has solutions that actually work, so you can say goodbye to allergies for good. Go to aspireallergy.com to schedule your appointment. That's aspireallergy.com.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. At New South Window, we bring the factory to you. Our windows and doors are made with quality in mind, and your products and installation are backed by our lifetime warranty. That's because New South Window knows the importance of single source accountability. We believe in removing the middleman so you get more for your money. This is real factory direct. One company, one call, guaranteed for life. get New South proud.
Buy 2 of our products and get the 3rd free. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
This week at Target, you'll find great deals for everyone. Save 25% on delicious treats from Favorite Day, like seasonal cookies, candy, and more with Target Circle. Prep for your spring getaway with 30% off swim for the whole family, or save 50% on the Sur La Table 5-quart air fryer. And discover great pet deals at Target. Right now, save 20% on Fresh Step or Up and Up cat litter. Check back each week for more new ways to save. But hurry, these deals end Saturday, so it's time for a Target run. Restrictions apply. See Target.com for details.
A massive data leak, being called the mother of all breaches, has been announced. Billions upon billions of records with sensitive data from previous breaches, newly stolen data, and privately sold databases have been exposed. Cybercriminals can use this information to commit identity theft. Help protect yourself and join the millions who trust LifeLock. LifeLock detects identity threats and alerts you if your information is being used. If you become a victim, LifeLock will work to fix it. Save up to 25% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
At one of the most famous restaurants in the world, there's a table in the corner where the most incredible conversations on the planet are happening every week with owner Ruthie Rogers and amazing guests like Martha Stewart.
I did have an affair with one of his best friends.
Jimmy Fallon.
Do you want a zip line over your dad while he gets attacked by alligators?
And Paul McCartney.
John and I hitchhiked to Paris.
We've saved you a seat. Ruthie's Table 4. Listen to Ruthie's Table 4 on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
GMC Sierra trucks in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. B-O-N-U-S. Bonus. That's bonus. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. Good luck.
Occupying the space between high society and prison tattoos. This is the news.
And anonymous emails. And I know that because it says anonymous please right at the top of the email, so thank you for that.
They were listening to you the other day.
That's the way to do it. Running lights in emergency vehicles, Anonymous says. So I've worked for the local fire department for over 20 years. We have on a regular basis situations where we get a call and then we get the call canceled while we're responding. When there's traffic on the road, we often try to turn onto a side street before turning the lights and sirens off because of exactly what you're talking about. That it appears we're trying to get through an intersection, etc., when there's really a simple reason for it. And by the way, we're not the police, but we'd have our asses in all kinds of trouble if we did it and it was found out. Anyway, keep up the work, Anonymous. Let me make something absolutely...
You didn't say keep up the good work.
Just keep up that work.
Keep up the work.
Keep up that work over there. Let me make something absolutely crystal clear. I don't think the fire department is doing this. You know how much of a pain in the ass it would be for the fire department to fire up the fire truck, roll open the door, get the lights and sirens rolling, get out on the road. And the fire department isn't just cruising around on the streets waiting for a fire, right? They're at the fire department and they're waiting for the calls to come in. So I don't think the fire department would do this. It just doesn't make any logical sense. It's not reasonable to think that they would do it. But the cops that are driving around all the time, they just quite clearly do this. I mean, you can't convince me otherwise. It's just absolutely going to be the case. And on somebody's point earlier, they said, look, you know, it's very dangerous, all of these interactions that officers are having with people. And I said, I want to see the numbers on that. So I got the numbers on that. Like, who's in more danger potentially? You know, who died more? People that were pulled over by the police or police officers that were pulling people over in 2023? Oh, the fire department. In 2023, 1,243 people were killed by police. All right, 1,243 people. It was just over 100, I think, officers that were killed in the line of duty. Hang on, let me just double check that. Officers killed traffic stops in 2023 is what we're looking at specifically. I think it was 109 or something, somewhere around there. So it's about a tenth of the amount of people that died at the hand of police officers at these stops, traffic stops mostly, 1,243 compared to just over 100 officers. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a person who's honest here. I don't argue from a position of partisanship. I damn well know that the majority of these 1,243 instances where police officers killed these people, there was a reason the people got killed. Right? I mean, not all of them, but there was a reason many of those people got killed. They either tried to hit the officer with their vehicle, pulled out a weapon of their own. They did various things like that. But it is much more dangerous, obviously, for the individual in the vehicle that's getting pulled over. And in some states, like New Mexico, is particularly a dangerous spot for folks. 97% of people killed by police in 2023 were killed by police shootings. Obviously, it's not them using tasers or their vehicles or anything else like that. And there's just all kinds of stats here on this policeviolencereport.org. Don't get me wrong, cops are mostly good, but we should not be these people. What I'm trying to do is unbrainwash, right? Reverse the brainwashing of a decent chunk of you who just by default think that cops are right in every situation. And you go, no, cops aren't doing that, Sean. They don't do that. Everything they do is right. Every time they end up killing somebody, it's right. Do not be that person. Have a brain. Look at each individual case individually. Find out if the cops were wrong. If they were wrong, then swift justice against them, I would hope. If they were not wrong, then you defend the officers and their actions. But I think like 4 cops or something were charged in those 1,000 plus deaths from last year. Or 10 or something. There's this very small number of them that were actually charged. Okay, here's an interesting thing. C-Len, you might find this interesting as well. You like
All
planes.
Right. I do.
You like plane-related things. There were a lot of flights this weekend. Just wanted to toss this out there as an interesting tidbit. And most of them were from Asia to the United States, long-haul flights. And the flights were, in some cases, like they took half as long as they were supposed to. Are you talking about a flight that's supposed to be 10 hours?
Yeah.
They get there in 5 hours.
Yeah.
Right? And you think, man, does that sound good? A 12-hour flight, they end up arriving in just 6 short hours.
I don't know, man. I planned out 12 hours worth of stuff to do, so
you're gonna have to do it afterwards.
I think that there would be a situation where this would piss me off, and it'd be very specific and very first world, very, very first world. If I had paid extra, like I knew I had to go on this 12-hour flight, and I said, you know what? Let's, I'm never going to get this opportunity again. Let me pay for the top notch of first class.
Yep.
The one where I can sleep in there, like they make my bed. I get 5 minutes of hot shower time. Like stuff like that, like the stuff that I watch on YouTube from that British guy that takes all the luxury flights and train rides.
You want to enjoy it.
If I had paid like exorbitantly for 12 hours of that, and they only got me 5, I'd be a little pissed off. I'd be like, all right, you need to bring me some Dom Perignons to make up for this, because this is bull.
You're pissed off. I'm like, this is the greatest day ever. We only had half the time on this flight. So the question is, why? Why would this have been so much faster for all these flights this weekend coming from Asia to the United States, from Tokyo, from the Philippines, from Seoul, South Korea, from Taipei to the United States, Los Angeles, or wherever? Well, there was, because of El Nino, some insane roaring jet streams. And one of the flights in particular, China Airlines Flight 5116 rocketed to a speed of 826 miles per hour.
Woo!
Because of the jet stream and what was pushing it. Now, I talked about coming back from New Orleans, and I think we had a pretty good jet stream, and I'm watching the stats on the Southwest flight live, and it said we were cruising at 40,000, 42,000 feet. We were going about 515 miles an hour. I go, that's incredible. 826 miles an hour that flight was going. Philippine Airlines 112 from Manila to Los Angeles, 819 miles per hour they were going. Tokyo to Detroit, 817 miles per hour. Seoul to Atlanta, 814 miles per hour. These things were flying. The thing that I thought about after I was blown away by these numbers was, what about the flights that were going the other way? Were they like twice as long?
They could have been, because they went, or they just stayed away from the jet stream.
maybe, I guess you could try to work your way around that, because it was just roaring to get them up to that speed. And if you were going against that, it could have slowed you down to 120 miles an hour in the plane, and you're stalling. You're stalling out. You're running out of gas because it takes 24 hours to get there. It could be.
It's crazy to think they had this amazing air travel weekend going 800 miles an hour, and that's still less than the Concorde by 500 miles an hour.
Is it really? Man,
Concorde was about 1350.
They just booked those things. I can't believe they got rid of the damn Concorde. What did they do? Crash 1 or something? 2, 3, 4? A couple of them crashed.
I don't think that many of them crashed.
Let's go over to you. Let's see what you got on your mind. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us what we call a dispatch. Let's see what's happening out there. Here is Guitar Slinger. It says, Sean is a fireman.
For some reason, when Sean started talking about firemen, I just had this picture of Sean as a firefighter, kind of similar to that movie Roxanne with Steve Martin, where the fire department is completely inept, and the one guy's trying to hold the hose, and it's spinning him around into like a spiral. And for some reason, I just imagine that being Sean. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think you're on target, buddy. I think you're on target on this one. Because let me say this about my firefighter friends. I've seen what they have to do to pass the tests to become a firefighter, and I couldn't hack it through that. There's a lot of physical stuff you're doing. You're carrying around heavy equipment. And no, not for me. And you got to do it in those big uniforms. For God's sake, no. Over to, let's see, which one do we want to go to? Tater Hog is talking about the police.
What up, Sean? What up, C-Lane? Hey, on that police topic, everybody's scared, to talk anything to them or whatever. I don't know. But if they ask you, can I search the car? You can tell them no. There ain't nothing they can do about it. All they're going to say is, well, that's fine. We'll just have a police canine come out here and, walk them around the car.
Right.
Go ahead. They legally have a specific time to have that canine get to that, your location before they have to release you.
Sure.
9 times out of 10, they're calling your bluff, so they're going to wait to the very last second. I think it's 15 minutes or something like that.
Right. There's a lot of people that just say yes because they go, well, I got nothing to hide here, and the police are just trying to do their job. I wish everybody would stop doing that immediately. I wish everybody would be as obsessed with your Fourth Amendment rights as Hunter S. Thompson was. I wish everybody would go, even if you were the most innocent of innocent people, anytime, by default, 100% of the time, all of us decide that when the police say, can I search your vehicle, you go, nope, out of respect to the Fourth Amendment, I'm going to refuse that unless you get a warrant to search my vehicle. That should become the norm. Then the cops will know that they can't just go, you don't mind me searching your vehicle, right? You don't got nothing to hide. Let me search the vehicle. Even if I got nothing to hide, you don't have a right to search my vehicle. We have a power imbalance here, and there's one side that seems to be taking much advantage of that. Okay, quick break. When we come back, the next episode plus more of your dispatches.
Next episode's coming up. It'll be really cool.
Don't worry, we still got to get to the thing that I teased for this segment, and we'll do that right when we come back. It's the guy who's started a big kerfuffle, we'll call it, online about working and what you should be required to do while working. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
Monsters in the Morning.
Got a video proof.
Let me be your fart jar manager. And I'll take 20% off the top of the jar.
Carlos will hold the jar.
If he's taking 20%, it's back up to 800.
Exactly. We'll talk about it later. Meet
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
Hey there, here's your mid-morning weather forecast update. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. And today, obviously, a lot chillier than it's been. We'll see high temperatures reaching the lower 60s with a busy breeze out of the northwest gusting up to 20 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, down into the mid-40s, and tomorrow warming up into the middle and upper 60s. Ultimately, we're going to warm up towards 70 by the weekend, but then a good chance for some thunderstorms by Sunday. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by ViStar Credit Union. ViStar Credit Union is growing and is proud to open their 20th Central Florida branch in Altamont Springs. They are now open and ready to help you reach your financial goals and life goals. Welcome to a better way to bank. Visit ViStarCU.org/Altamont Springs or come visit at 151 North State Road 434. Federally insured by NCUA.
In this week's Marketers Report, we hear about the importance of local radio from Allison Griffin, Head of Marketing at State Farm.
iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is local, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Florida truly is the Sunshine State, and it shows in everything we grow. To learn about what's in season, save recipes, and email me, Chef Justin, your culinary questions, join the Fresh from Florida Club at freshfromflorida.com/register. It's free and easy to sign up, and you'll be supporting your Florida farmers. Fresh from Florida, there's sunshine in every bite. A message from the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
If your business is looking to add talent to your team, sign up for the Florida Jobs Now Job Fair. The job fair will be promoted across iHeartMedia's 13 Central Florida radio stations. That reaches nearly 2 million people. Get the word out about your open positions and attract top talent. Join us at the Orlando Science Center Wednesday, March 13th from noon to 4 p.m. For more information on how your business can participate, go to fljobsnow.com and click on the Get More Info tab. That's fljobsnow.com.
Enjoying the news junkie? You've probably heard a ton of injury attorney commercials, but if you are injured and need a lawyer, who's the right lawyer for you? That's why we offer our 30-day risk-free trial. If you are not 100% satisfied with the way we treat you and your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com. Go to JustCallMo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back, Up Singers.
Backing you up. So I order food on EasyCater for a meeting with a new client in Jackson.
Gotta feed clients in Jackson.
On my way to the airport, it hits me. The client is actually in Jacksonville.
Feed clients in Jacksonville. Oopsie.
So I call EasyCater. Nina picks up right away.
Gonna fix it for you.
She called me right back and said you're all set.
Nina fixed the Jackson accident.
Jackson? EasyCater has your back with 24/7 support. Order at EasyCater.com and know
we got your back.
Wawa is ringing in 2024 in a big way with any 20 or 24-ounce freshly brewed hot coffee for just $2, including their new caramel cream flavor. Pour more of your favorite coffee at Wawa.
Welcome back. All right, Jimmy, our Army veteran, for $400. Are you ready to answer the next question?
Actually, I'm good.
Huh?
Well, I already earn and save $473 a year on average with Navy Federal Credit Union. So, yeah.
All members of the Armed Forces, all veterans, and their families can earn and save more every year with a Navy Federal membership. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA. Dollar value based on the 2022 Navy Federal Member Giveback Study.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Get ready for the big game with a free iHeartRadio app, the official partner of the NFL Podcast Network, featuring the biggest names in the game like Ross Tucker and his daily NFL podcast, NFL Now, and many more. Search NFL and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
No, I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Because the newspapers don't come with cliff notes or potentially offensive accents.
I told you that Courtney is kind of addicted these days to Reddit. She's really just jumped into it, and she's been posting on there, which worries me because she's sensitive, and I don't want people online to be mean to her. And so I'll be like, oh, no, God. Because I know how people are.
So weird that you're saying this right now.
Why is this?
Because my first story in the next episode has to do with this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how often this happens, but at least twice, I guess. Whenever she posts stuff, I'm like, oh, they're going to be mean. And she's like, no, I'm posting stuff. Look at all the karma I'm getting. And I said, karma's fake. It's not worth anything. We will go through that whole thing.
Have you looked like through what Courtney's feed is compared to yours?
Yeah, it's not even close. Hers is like TV shows and like dogs.
Ashley's is like mothers and Vanderpump, and I'm like, I got nothing close to that.
Mine is like people being decapitated, and mine's all aggressive news stuff that I end up getting served up over and over. But she's been posting on there a bunch of stuff, and people really seem to like it. She's getting like thousands and thousands of upvotes on stuff. And I sit back and I'm like, oh, please. And it's usually mundane, so people aren't mean to her. But she got banned from a subreddit this weekend.
What?
I saw her reaction, but she's like, and she was like she was a criminal. And
wait, who banned her? Where was she stirring up drama?
So she got banned from the television, the TV subreddit, which I think is a pretty big one. And she got banned because somebody else wrote the C word and spelled it with a V, and she was like, I think most people just say, and she put the C word spelled correctly, and you can't do that, and they banned her, and then she even like sent a message to him like, I'm sorry, I didn't know the rule, like perma-banned her afterwards, and so she was very upset for this, but she showed me a post that had me laughing all weekend, and I've been like in my head just channeling the guy who posted this, because she was she's also in another subreddit for a couple of TV shows that she likes. I can't remember the name of one of the most popular ones that she watches. It's like Dexter. Okay, it's like a Dexter show.
It does like Dexter.
Yeah, but it's one of the other ones where it's like a guy who helps the cops out solve the crimes, but he's not really the cop, and all that, whatever.
Oh, is it the mathematician one?
Yeah, I think it's that one. I don't know if he's a mathematician. I think he's just like a real smart guy who figures everything out. Anyhow, she's posting in that one, and she's in this thread with people talking about the television show, and they're like, it's great, and it's good, and some guy's like, actually, this show's not that fantastic. And he said, he started to outline why he thought that the show was not as good as everybody else did. And the line that hooked with me that I've been using all weekend, the guy said, I've watched over 40 television shows, and I know what I'm looking. His line to give himself credibility was, I've watched over 40 television shows.
Like,
and I thought,
like the entirety of every season, every episode? We're talking...
His whole life, he's watched 40 television shows, and that was like his line to give himself credibility. And I thought,
what are you, 8?
I was like, 40 television shows? I think I've watched 40 television shows this year already. And the guy was just bragging. As a person who's watched over 40 television shows, I'll have you know,
maybe
you're all
this
very,
guy's
very
just really
wrong.
funny. I mean, like maybe.
Yeah. But every time I hear something about TV shows this weekend, I was like, look, I've watched over 40 television shows. I kind of know what I'm talking about here. All right, we got the guy who stirred things up online and a debate about working and how much you should be working. We will get to that momentarily. But right now, we'll kick that can down the road just a bit further. It's time to get into it. Let's do the next episode.
I apologize in advance.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
I'm on the sex offender list because I was at a rest stop, and I was peeing, And the cops pulled up, and they shone their flashlight on me. And I was like, oh, my God, officer, I'm just peeing. And they hit me with sex offender status. Bam, just like that. I'm a sex offender.
Nothing.
Oh.
It's time for the next episode.
With me! Sorry about that.
That sounds bad.
I wanted to cut it into a smaller piece, and then I was just like, the whole thing was just great.
That sounds pretty indefensible.
Next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don, thatmortgageguyDon.com. If you're looking to get yourself into a house, you don't know much about the mortgage business, that's fine. Most of us don't. I don't know next to anything about it. I don't know what an escrow means.
It's complicated.
I don't know. I don't take care of that part of the house. So that's why you have somebody like That Mortgage Guy Don who walks you through the process, makes it easy for you, and he's a mortgage wholesaler. He's going to get you a really good rate. So you can find him at thatmortgageguydon.com. Do it, Sean.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Nailed it again.
Just
perfect.
Just drilled it.
I'll have to find where that button is. Anyway, you brought up the thing about not wanting Courtney to be on Reddit, and I was going to start the segment by asking if there was anything that you thought that you could actually effectively keep Courtney from, or in this case, they're using the word ban, which I mean, if it's a ban, do you think that you could ban Courtney from using social media to protect her?
I don't have enough power.
Right.
She does whatever she wants, and that's fine. But I worried about, because she's so sensitive. I know people are going to be mean, and they're going to they'll just say dumb things, and I don't want her to get upset. But right. I don't have the power. She wouldn't listen to me.
Well, and that would be my thing. I think that wouldn't. If I tried to ban Ashley from something like that, she would probably I don't know, laugh at me.
Do it more.
Yeah, something like that. But they're saying that Kanye West is banning his wife. I don't know if we're still putting wife in quotes. Bianca Censori. She's banning her from social media for her own protection. The Jesus Walks rapper is said to be keeping this wife who, I mean, I don't know what people are saying bad about her on social media besides that she's just just a breath away from being naked at all times.
Yeah, I don't know anything about her other than that, honestly.
They say he doesn't want her interacting with others on social media platforms in a bid to avoid negative comments. However, sources close to the pair tell Daily Mail it's a way of further isolating her from reality. An insider told the outlet Bianca has always had social media, and she was active on it. He doesn't want her to have it because he thinks it would hurt her to read nasty things that people say. He's convinced her that since she is a star now, would we call her a star?
I don't know.
She has to remain a mystery. I think she's more mystery than star, and it is creepy to those who know her, as it feels like another form of control. Basically, her friends are going, we don't like how Kanye's getting after her, controlling her.
They're going to come after me next.
Why? Because you're keeping Courtney off of Reddit so that people would be nice?
With the same reasoning. This really works out for me.
That's why I was so wide-eyed that you brought it up at the beginning of the segment here, because I was just about to talk about it.
Yeah, it's just we know that world really well. Like you and I in particular, doing this show, we know what it's like to create things and then have people critique things, and then people who have the worst taste in the world tell you something it could be better, or whatever. And the average person is not built to receive the amount of criticism that you receive when you become a figure on social media. Right. I think it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, for a time like this where teens are on social media a lot, that's a whole different thing than we had. At the box office this weekend, the Jason Statham action movie The Beekeeper took the top spot. Do you know anything about The Beekeeper?
I've only seen the in-theater promotion for it, where it's got Jason Statham and a bunch of bees. I don't know anything more than that, but I saw that was number one.
The fact that it's an action movie is kind of intriguing to me, a bee action movie.
Right. This is the first bee movie since the actual bee movie with Jerry Seinfeld that I think has achieved number one status.
What about Aquila and the Bee? That didn't.
That may have been big. I'm not sure if that made it up there to number one.
They got a weekend haul with $7.4 million. It was neck and neck with Mean Girls, who took second place with $7.3 million. Wonka's still up there, Movies like Barbie, The Holdovers, and Killers of the Flower Moon saw big increases in sales from the previous week because of all the Oscar buzz. But it's the increase is more like impressive than the sales.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. If the number one movie makes $7 million, that's a slow weekend at the theaters right there.
Very slow. I mean, maybe the NFL had something to do with that, but they're saying, like, okay, for instance, Barbie saw an almost 11,000% increase from the previous week.
Yeah.
The difference being $2,000 to $218,000 in sales.
Yeah.
Barbie's only got $2,000 in sales last week?
Well, it's probably not in many theaters still. I would imagine the numbers dwindling.
I guess it was enough for the Oscar buzz to bring people back out to the theaters and watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of going to the theaters, I know that Jordan Peele has been doing a lot of movies for Netflix. Have you watched a lot of the Jordan Peele movies?
I don't know if I've seen the ones that he's done for Netflix, actually, now that I think about it.
Well, I mean, there was this one, maybe it wasn't Netflix. Maybe I've just watched his stuff that in theaters, but he's got this new movie, The Monkey Man, or just Monkey Man.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. I've seen it.
Wait, it's not out yet.
Oh, what's the one that I saw that he did, though, with a monkey?
No.
I'll find it.
Okay, so Jordan Peele, he wasn't directing this movie. He bought the movie because Dev Patel was the directorial debut. That's a hard word to say. And it was supposed to be released April 5th to Netflix, but Jordan Peele saw it and said, this is too good. It needs to go to theaters. So he bought it and convinced Universal to release it.
Wow.
Which,
Jesus.
I mean, if I were Dev Patel, I'd be like, I'm kind of flattered.
Okay, yeah, so it wasn't Monkey Man. That's something different because, yeah, what's crazy is he's only actually been a director for Get Out, Us, and Nope. He's just been involved in all of the other projects as a producer or various other things. I can't remember the one that I'm thinking of now, but it was about like some monkey who was in movies in Hollywood, and then I don't know. It turns into a horror movie.
Are you thinking of Ted, but a monkey instead of a bear?
No, it's not Ted. I don't know what it was. It's a movie. Okay, this is going to be like the peanut butter experiment all over again, where I said I've seen a movie and I throw it out there and everybody's like, you're crazy, that never existed. And then I go, finally found it. It's the peanut butter experiment. But this one there was a monkey that was in the movies, and then the movie turned into like a horror thriller / thing. I can't remember which one it was exactly.
It's weirdly hard to peg Jordan Peele because I didn't know him before Key and Peele. Mm-hmm. So I only for a while I only knew him as a comedy person, and then they're like, no, he makes creepy movies now too.
Yeah, that's his whole thing.
That's weird. All right, it might be hard to peg Snoop Dogg a little bit because in the past he's said some things that were a little on the anti-Trump side. He had a satirical song called "Make America Crip Again," in which he said, F that MAGA S. As late as 2020, he was seen calling Trump an effing weirdo. And then in a stark departure from his previous vocal criticism of the former president, rapper Snoop Dogg now says he has nothing but love and respect for Donald Trump.
Okay.
So in an interview with The Times, Snoop said, Donald Trump, he ain't done nothing wrong to me. He has done only great things for me. Which is just a complete 180 from the things that he said before about the former president. But, I guess he's allowed to change his mind.
Okay. By the way, thank you to Christina for fixing my brain. She said, what you explained is very similar to the side plot of a monkey in Jordan Peele's Nope. So it was in Nope. It was like part of the plot of the movie Nope from Jordan Peele with the monkey that I was talking about. Not this new one that you were talking about. Sorry about that. Excuse me.
I'm glad we got that very important monkey thing settled. Tonight on the Boob Tube, The Bachelor on ABC. Everybody's been calling this guy super boring. Kimmel's in repeat. Bryan Cranston and Michelle Norris on Stephen Colbert. Jerry O'Connell on After Midnight. James Corden is on Jimmy Fallon because he doesn't have anything to do anymore, along with Rob Gronkowski. And then Sterling K. Brown on Late Night with Seth Meyers. That's it for your next episode. Thank you.
Oh, look. The audience sounds shockingly similar to the last time that you did this.
No. The last time there was more audience. This is more of a Monday crowd.
All right. Yeah, Monday crowds are a little smaller. I get that. Okay, when we come back, we'll get to the man who's stirring things up about what your employer should be expecting you to do at work. I'm going to toss this directly at you. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
It's a Real Radio sports special with the AFC and NFC championship games this Sunday. Coverage starts at 2 p.m. on Real Radio 104.1.
There's a couple of major roadways to check on this afternoon. Authorities are clearing up an accident southbound on Florida's Turnpike near exit 272. Traffic is backed up to Hancock Road. On Colonial Drive, the right lane is blocked westbound before Severin Boulevard. And all lanes are still blocked westbound on the Beach Line near Innovation Way. Expect lane closures eastbound as well. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Start your year by taking care of one of your biggest investments, your vehicle. Drive into any Central Florida area Valvoline Instant Oil Change and get a quality Valvoline oil change without leaving your car. Go to VIOC.com to find a convenient location near you.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Ford, Chevy, Ram, and GMC, Nations Trucks has got them all. And with approved credit, you won't make any payments for 3 months. Got a few bumps on your credit? Not a problem. Nations Trucks has 35 lenders willing to work with anyone. Start driving the truck that you deserve today. Visit nationstrucks.com.
Scott for Scott's here. Your lawn is meant for all things bonus. Bonus relaxing, bonus playing, bonus beauty. But when dollar weed and clover are popping up everywhere, it's time to start cutting them back with Scott's Turf Builder Bonus S. It kills dollar weed and clover and feeds your grass so it grows thick and strong to crowd out future weeds. Now that's worth some bonus points, eh?
Get a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Bonus S today. It's guaranteed or your money back.
Feed your lawn. Feed it.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
Very local. Powered by Wesh 2. Local news.
Breaking news this morning.
Original series and specials.
I can't wait to go check it out. Come with me.
24/7 TV made just for you.
How awesome is this?
Download the free Very Local app now.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
It's the U.S. Olympic Marathon Trials this Saturday at 8 a.m. Join us in downtown Orlando at the Dr. Phillips Center for the ultimate free Fan Fest experience. Enjoy food trucks, live music, and vendors, and see the runners as they race towards their Olympic dreams from 4 different fan zones downtown. Experience the thrill of the U.S. Olympic Marathon Trials this Saturday, 8 a.m. Join us decked out in red, white, and blue for a day of inspiration and unforgettable memories. Visit Orlando2024trials.com. Presented by Visit Orlando.
It's hot. We all know that. Have you noticed your power bill is skyrocketing? The current cost of energy is the highest it's ever been, and it's probably going to just keep getting higher. Solar Source can change that for you. I recently took the plunge with Solar Source with my pool heater, and man, it's been a game changer. I love working with Solar Source. Solar Source has nearly 40 years in the business. They bring the power of the sun to over 6,000 Central Florida homes since 1984. Mine and my mom's and my sister's included. Solar Source makes it easy with a free estimate. Monster listeners, they have an online tool that lets you get your own solar estimate in just 30 seconds. No pressure, no salesman, just the facts. You can harness your own power and stop wasting thousands of dollars every year renting your electricity at higher and higher prices. Visit solarsource.com/monsters and see how easy it is to get your instant hassle-free quote. Solar Source, the most trusted name in solar. solarsource.com/monsters.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window, and we would like to manufacture and install your windows. Every single New South window is custom manufactured just for your home. Now you can buy 2 windows and get the 3rd absolutely free.
Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS or visit newsouthwindow.com.
It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose, making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible, so Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back. Up Singers.
Backing you up. So I order food on EasyCater for a meeting with a new client in Jackson.
Gotta feed clients in Jackson.
On my way to the airport, it hits me. The client is actually in Jacksonville.
Feed clients in Jacksonville. Oopsie.
So I call EasyCater. Nina picks up right away.
Gonna fix it for you.
She called me right back and said you're all set.
Nina fixed the Jackson accident. Jackson? EasyCater has your back with 24/7 support. Order at easycater.com and know we got your back.
Hard Rock Bet presents Legal in Florida.
You can bet the game on Hard Rock Bet. No more betting inside your head.
Now Hard Rock Bet is legal in Florida. Now Hard Rock Bet is legal in Florida. Legal in Florida. It's safe, it's legal. We'll repeat that it is legal. Top rated sports book and it's the only one that's legal.
Get a no-regret first bet up to $100 when you sign up now. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and over and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank, B-A-N-K. Bank. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Riding the daily roller coaster of viral news from the front row.
I am seeing triggered by Taylor Swift Super Bowl talk. It's truly enjoyable. It's maybe one of my favorite things. It may be the reason why I watch the Super Bowl. So some people will be watching for the game. Some people will be watching for Taylor Swift. I'll be watching for everybody getting mad at all of these things. And I'll be enjoying that part of it more than anything. Only thing I would like for Trigger Bowl to be complete, if we could really...
I like the name.
If we could turn Trigger Bowl into the whole thing, we need Taylor Swift to have some more choice guests up in the box for the Super Bowl game as the Chiefs and the 49ers battle it out. So you got Taylor Swift, and maybe they can have him do the coin flip or something just to make it even more consequential. I think Taylor Swift should invite with her for optimum triggering potential Colin Kaepernick, all right? I want Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, that would be...
It's the 49ers.
It'll be interesting. I don't know that they have a lot in common.
And I don't know if they're going to be able to talk about things, but I want him in the suite too. So what I want is every time that the camera goes to this suite, people are more and more triggered by it, and they start to lose their minds. I want at halftime, I want them to go to Taylor Swift's box. I want them to go to the box that Taylor Swift is in. And I want Janet Jackson to be there, and I want them to recreate the Nipplegate moment from the Super Bowl of
and bring
years
Justin
past.
in there to do it.
and Justin Timberlake recreated. I want to fill this box with all the people that just enrage the audience. That to me is going to be the height of fun for Trigger Bowl. I think we could really make this happen.
I read an article earlier that mentioned Justin Timberlake. They were talking about his appearance on SNL and how like his bit during the monologue was a little sad, where he was just kind of like, I know that I'm the musical guest, but if you want me to be in some sketches, just let me know if I can be in some sketches. And like, and they're like going like, people are over Justin Timberlake now, and it makes me sad. I like the guy. And they're like, no, we remember what you did to Britney. I was like, come on.
Oh, God. Yeah, we talked about that this weekend. I guess Britney Spears said, I really like Justin Timberlake's new music, and I regret what I said in my book about him, and I think she's trying to like make her fans calm down. I don't think many people actually care about that stuff. I think it's like 3 people online that get real loud, and maybe even they don't care that much. Was he good at performing on SNL, though?
You know what? It seemed decent. However, I was in some sort of mood yesterday where, like, as soon as I hit the right, like, inclination, like the right angle on the couch, I'm just out.
Oh, you just passed out?
I kept nodding off the entire time. It was good.
I saw the Stanley Tumbler bit. That
gosh! I was just looking at Ashley and laughing, and then passing out, but then laughing some more, like because she was like, I feel very triggered. I feel
this is targeted
for this.
Don't forget, if you are VIP for Just Okay 8, tickets on sale soon. It's going to be March 16th at Plaza Live for Just Okay 8th, a big party that we are throwing. And everyone's going, who's the headliner? Who's the headliner? The headliner is going to be all kinds of bands that you've seen, like Sabrina's band and all that stuff. But what we're going to do this year is something really awesome. We're going to have surprises and surprise guests, and we're going to take all the money that we usually spend on some headliner act that half of you don't even care about because it doesn't sell any more tickets. And we're going to make this the most incredible Just Okay we've ever done. We're going to spend money on things that are really, really going to make this next level fun. And that is what I'm most excited for headed towards March 16th. There will be surprises along the way and some things that are going to make your jaw drop a little bit. But you'll also, if you get VIP, you'll get that Stanley Killer, the new mug that they're making right now. This thing is awesome. It looks so killer.
As soon as it sees the light of day, Stanley's done.
Stanley's done for. They're going to wrap up shop over there and say, why are we even making any more of our mugs? It's over. This thing is the Stanley Killer that you'll get with VIP. Also, working on a hat design that everybody in VIP will get. And that's just like the beginning of the stuff that you're going to get with your VIP experience. The Stephapi says, Nelly is $150,000. So, no. These acts are incredibly expensive. You know, we've asked for all these bands over the years, and we talked about this a bit more on Secret Shows each year after the event. And like some bands that you don't think might be that expensive. The Fray, I think, wanted $120,000 to perform. And even having Coolio and all these other people, it's not what most people want. This is going to be about the show. That's what you listen to us for. You like the show, hopefully, or hate the show and want to come to Just Okay either way. It's going to be about the show. It's going to be about some awesome performances. We're going to have back some of the best guests that we've had in the past on Just Okay headlines or Just Okay lineups. Like the Young Tapes will be coming back this year. I have never heard anybody talked about after the show more than they were last year. People absolutely went nuts at Just Okay 7 for Young Tapes. They put on a hell of a show. So obviously we're going to have them back to party it up again for March 16th and Just Okay 8th. And from there, we'll leak out some more of the stuff that you're going to see over time. And you know Sabby's Little Helpers will be playing. And if you've never seen them perform, it's a big show, man. It's a big show.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
a lot of moving parts.
It's impressive. It's a very, very impressive thing. And I think you're going to love it. So when you hear VIP dropping, which again is very soon, you want to grab that as fast as you possibly can because just the swag bag alone is going to be mind-blowing. And all the stuff that we learned from last year, by the way, we're going to make improvements on. Like I know people were mad because the bar lines are really long. and we're going to make them open up every single bar that they have. And we're going to have special bars for VIP and stuff. We're going to really take the pressure off of that so that there aren't lines. You could just get a drink whenever you need to. That is going to be definitely fixed this year. And we're going to have the food trucks back for VIP. But I know some of them left a little earlier than you guys wanted them to last year. We're going to try to make sure they stay until after the show this year so that VIP folks can enjoy that. And last year,
Somebody
VIP...
on the texting service said, no Nelly? Must be the money.
Yeah, it must be the money, right? I see.
It literally is.
It is, actually. Also, you remember if you got VIP last year, you got a free meal at the food trucks. I don't know if that's going to happen this year. I don't know if you'll get that lucky, but you should definitely be paying attention because all this is happening real soon as we approach March 16th. And if you're listening somewhere else, come hang out with us. Fly in for a fun weekend. You already got the date. You got March 16th. Fly in from where you are and come enjoy a show that's going to blow your mind. You'll see freak show type performers. You'll see bands performing on the stage. You'll see stuff all over the venue. And we're going to do a thing where we hide magnets from over the years around the venue this year. So everybody's going to leave with something. I promise you that much. Everybody is going to leave with something. And you're going to have a blast. So there you go. That's the update on that for now. A man is getting some attention for something he posted on social media, and it has people
Facebook,
very upset.
Instagram, Twitter, y'all see this?
Very upset, I tell you. This guy, it's now been viewed 20 million times on TikTok. He said he's fed up with his boss. He's pissed off. And here's the thing. His boss told him, hey, we got a meeting. And we need you to be there for this meeting. And the meeting's at 8 o'clock.
All right.
And he told his boss, hey, I appreciate you telling me about this. I'm going to be a firm no on the meeting because you pay me to work between 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. So I'm working a 9 to 5, and you want me in at 8 o'clock for a meeting, all hands on deck meeting. That doesn't work for me. I work 9 to 5. Sorry, I won't be there.
Couldn't just leave at 4?
Well, hey, I mean, that would have just made too much sense now, wouldn't it? But what you have here is sort of this, there's a lot of people who, many of them are unemployable, who view work very, very, very differently these days. And if I hear, hey, we'll have an all hands on deck meeting for iHeart, but it's at, 8 a.m. and I'll go, well, that's not when our show's on. That's not when I'm getting paid for. I'm going to attend the meeting, right? I'm going to be there for the meeting that we have. And
I'm going to do what they say.
Make time for it.
iHeart bootlicker.
And you might say, Sean, that's because you work 4 hours a day doing the show. Well, first of all, how dare you? And second of all, I just think that it's a different way to look at work. Now, I think C-Lane's right. Like, the right thing for the employee is to show up for the meeting, even though it's not 9 to 5. The right thing for the employer to do is say, okay, everybody can leave at 4 today because we switch things up, and you should get paid for time you're doing stuff, even if it is a meeting like that.
I mean, if they were coming down and saying, hey, you have to be here at 8, but you still have to stay until 5, your compensation will not be changed at all. This is free time. Meeting is free.
Yeah.
That's not allowed. That's illegal. But, I mean, if it kind of sounds like he's just being a dick about it.
Yeah, and he said, like, look, I got a morning gym routine. This is going to screw everything up with the routine I have going on. I can't adjust my schedule like that. When I hear people saying things like this and 20 million people watching it on TikTok, I'm like, oh, God, the entire generation is going to be unemployable people. You're going to get the job and you're going to say, no, sorry, I can't do that. And who do you think's first in line when they have to lay anybody off? You're the person who doesn't put in anything extra, and it's very, very easy for them to chop you off and get rid of you. That's just one of the things that is going to happen. Crazy Drunk Cat Lady says, by the way, managers and assistant managers at fast food are required to work 50 hours on salary, putting in extra time, I guess. I mean, look, the problem with this is it should be on both sides. It should be that the employer goes, hey, everybody's going to get to bounce out a little bit early, and the employee is like, hey, I could be a little bit more flexible so we can all have this meeting. The one that I hear about that seems to be the biggest pain in the ass is if you're a bartender or work at a restaurant, every once in a while, I don't know how often they do this, they'll do the thing where all the employees have to come in and they do a full, like, deep dive clean on the plate. Yeah, the deep clean. Oh, God. And it's not even like during work hours, so it might be really early or really, really late.
I always wondered about that, why the employees do the deep clean, because a lot of these places have a cleaning company that come overnight and, after the bar closes, but before it opens sometime, and they do the clean. And if you need a deeper one, can't you just have the company come an extra day and maybe like do it deeper?
Yeah,
get the
I would think.
deeper thing?
But I think they also want to use it as a meeting, like, here's what's going on, everybody on the same page. And I think they do it for that, maybe. I don't know. I don't work in the service industry.
Some of them all get drunk while they do it. So
might as well.
It's like a cleaning party, like Lee Road is saying on YouTube right now.
That's what I would do, for sure. All right, we're going to get to some of your dispatches and check you out, see where you're at, check the temperature of the room here at this point in the show. And then when we come back, I've got to yell about something else. And this is about the Pro Bowl coming to town, because this is happening. Pro Bowl is headed to where we broadcast from here in Orlando. And as a result, the town is doing something. The city's doing something. And I think that this is really, really strange. Right? And I want to get into this. We'll talk about this. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is Real Music Weekends.
Rocks. You don't have to put on the red light.
Real Music Weekends. This weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Travel with caution. There's an accident on I-4 eastbound after US 27 blocking the left lane on Colonial Drive. Authorities are clearing up an accident westbound before Severin Boulevard. And all lanes are still blocked westbound on the beach line near Innovation Way. Traffic is moving on the eastbound lanes. You won't be expecting any delays there. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa has pizza. Get $5 off pizza when you order in the Wawa app or on your favorite delivery app starting at 4 p.m. Gotta have a Wawa.
It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose, making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible, so Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Knights fans, tune into Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus on Saturday, February 3rd to see UCF men's basketball take on Oklahoma at 4 p.m. Presented by 3MG Roofing and Solar, the official roofer and solar partner of UCF Athletics. Get your tickets now at UCFKnights.com.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer of Moderna, tells us about the advantages the speed of audio production affords their growing tech company.
At Moderna, we have a mindset saying that we pivot fearlessly. And I think with audio, you can pivot fearlessly. You can go where the news is and bringing in content that perhaps you didn't have a few weeks earlier. It's less 6 months in advance or 3 months in advance when you do a TVC. You're able to create really nimble content, which I think in this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, over 3 million people called Morgan & Morgan in their time of need. And with over 1 million of those calls coming from previous clients, friends, and family.
My name is Jason Williams. It was a rainy day, and I got hit from behind by a lady that was doing somewhere over 100 miles an hour is what they were saying. I've never dealt with anything like this before. Everybody that I talked to kept saying the same name, which was Morgan & Morgan. I was on hold for maybe 15 seconds. When they come back and said, Jason, we will absolutely take your case. As a non-tech savvy guy, any question that I had, if I called, text, or emailed, they got right back to me. They made it as easy for me as it could have been.
Thank you for trusting us. We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. The word is out. Size matters. Reputation matters. We're America's largest injury law firm for a reason. With over 900 dedicated attorneys and climbing, we're ready wherever you are, whatever you need. The choice is easy. We're just a phone call away. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back, Upsingers.
Backing you up. So I order food on EasyCater for a meeting with a new client in Jackson.
Gotta feed clients in Jackson.
On my way to the airport, it hits me. The client is actually in Jacksonville.
Feed clients in Jacksonville. Oopsie.
So I call EasyCater. Nina picks up right away.
Gonna fix it for you.
She called me right back and said you're all set.
Nina fixed the Jackson accident.
Jackcident? EasyCater has your back with 24/7 support. Order at easycater.com and know.
We got your back.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Get ready for the big game with the free iHeartRadio app, the official partner of the NFL Podcast Network, featuring the biggest names in the game like Ross Tucker and his daily NFL podcast.
I am so looking forward to that game.
NFL Total Access.
That's another mini storyline to watch.
NFL Now.
This could be the dangerous team.
And many more. The free iHeartRadio app and the NFL, getting you the insight and behind-the-scenes stories you need for the big game. Just open the free iHeartRadio app and search NFL and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank, B-A-N-K, bank. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
A safe haven of sorts for all of the 95%ers.
About Just Okay 8. And a lot of people asking about the VIP stuff because there's always big interest in VIP. It will sell out. It'll sell out incredibly fast. And the people who get it will have a great time. I know that. And they're going to be very happy with the swag that they get. You get hats. You get all kinds of stuff. You get the Stanley Killer, the News Junkie tumbler that is going to just destroy all other tumblers in the world of tumblers. And also, last year, one of the weird things was with the balcony seating. VIP is going to be a VIP lounge on the floor this year, which I think is cool. I think that's going to work out well with like high top tables and stuff. So, you know, you could chill, you have a place to put a drink, and it'll be like a whole big lounge area on the floor where you can be by the stage, and it'll be that instead of being up in the balcony area. We'll probably just sell those off as tickets, or we'll figure out how to do that a different way. But keep that in mind. Also, a lot of rumors A lot of rumors about Just Okay. A lot of whispers.
I know. I'm starting most of them.
I know, me too. Like I heard rumor about Travis Kelce maybe making an appearance in VIP. I don't know if it's true, but it's out there. It's a rumor that's floating around. After the Super Bowl, he goes over to Just Okay 8 and hangs out in the VIP lounge. Will he be there? I don't know. I can't guarantee this stuff. But there's talk about Travis Kelce being about Just Okay 8. We'll see. I do want to talk about something that's happening in Orlando.
Wouldn't it be just divine if we did get Travis Kelce to come to Just Okay 8 and he breaks up with Taylor Swift like the day before?
That'd still be news, you know. I'll take the mom. we'll take any
Mama
level.
Donna's a fun time.
Yeah, she seems fun. She's enjoying her life, and she got some very talented sons too. We don't know who's going to be there. It's going to be a big unexpected event-filled moment. The whole thing, in its entirety, Just Okay. So keep paying attention. Tickets very, very soon. So we got the Pro Bowl coming. Pro Bowl is headed our way, and it's going to be a big deal in and of itself.
And there's something about it you don't like?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not that I don't like. I just think it's a real interesting thing that happens. And they're starting to work on it this week into the weekend. And it's very much like what happened in California when Gavin Newsom had the Chinese premier and all these other world leaders, the Chinese president, arrive. They scoop up the hobos and they clean the streets. You know, they get rid of the homeless people and anything that's hanging out there. And you got, in our case, Buddy Jung-un, he's doing his thing. He's cleaning the streets, getting the hobos out of there. And they're going to be doing sweeps to get all these homeless people because, it's a blight. We don't want anybody to see who's coming in town for the Pro Bowl that we might have some homeless people in downtown Orlando. Oh, God, we can't have that. What if somebody's coming from across the country? What if they're coming from Dallas? What if they're coming from Rochester? What if they're flying up? Well, they can't really fly from West Palm, but taking a short ride for big savings to the Pro Bowl in Orlando. We don't want them to see that we have
You
any
can fly
homeless
up from
people.
West Palm. Moses flies to Tampa.
Yes, you can that way, but there's no commercial flights. I've tried, unfortunately. And so when I think about this, I go, isn't that one of the weirdest things that we do? When we have a bunch of people coming to our town, it's almost like when you have guests over your house and you clean things up.
I did that this weekend.
You get everything all nice and shiny and presentable, and then your guests come over and you're like, it's always like this, I swear. This is just how it is. I woke up like this. And they're going through the streets and cleaning up all the homeless people, cleaning up in air quotes. And we go, if we think this is an issue, we think this is a problem, why are we only doing this when the Pro Bowl comes to town so we can pretend like the problem doesn't exist, right? Why are we not enforcing this in other ways every other weekend of the year? Why don't we prioritize this when guests aren't coming over to our house? Why don't we do this at other times instead of going, oh, guys, there's going to be attention on us. Let's get all the homeless people in the tents and let's clean all that up and let's get that out of here with the cops going over and bringing them to different places. Now, the homeless issue is a very complex one that most people don't understand. You have people who are radicals on one side who go, I can solve it. Give them homes. Put them in all the empty hotel rooms. And you go, you're well-meaning, you're an empathetic person, but you don't know how homelessness works. You don't understand how this whole thing works. Then on the other side, you have people who go arrest them all. Throw them all in jail, and there won't be any more homeless people immediately. And then you have the people who know something about the issue who say this is complex. You could fix this in different ways. But one thing that we definitely shouldn't do is just when you have guests come over, fix the problem then. Leave it until that very moment. The Pro Bowl is coming up this weekend. Let's act like we don't have any issues and let's clean up all these homeless people. But that's, in fact, exactly what the city of Orlando is doing this week. That's how it's going to work out. All right, before we go back to you, because dispatches are heating up and you have thoughts and I want to hear them, there's been a huge breakthrough in a very long search. This search has been going on for quite some time. But they think they may have finally found Amelia Earhart's plane. It's been missing since 1937, so almost 100 years this thing has been out there. But they used some new technology. They said there's a lot of conspiracies about where Amelia Earhart's plane is located.
They didn't do the black box?
No, they didn't have one back then, not 1937 as far as I know. But she was trying to circumnavigate the globe, fly around the world, and they said they believe she ran out of fuel searching for the next landing spot and crashed into the sea. And they used a bunch of sonar image technology, and they found what they believe is Amelia Earhart's Lockheed 10E Electra plane. I saw the photos of this, and it looks like the same exact outline of the plane that she would have been flying. And so they're going to go check this out and search this area to see if they can finally solve the mystery of where her plane ended up and where she ended up dying. So we'll see what happens with that when the search gets underway. Right now, we're not searching for you. You're right here. You're in front of us with your dispatches, and you got thoughts. So let's see what those are about. Here is Troy. He's talking about cops hitting their lights and going through stoplights. Hello?
News junkies, I can't vouch for law enforcement, but as a first responder, it happens quite often that we get canceled or downgraded going to a scene and have to shut off our lights.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it because I know everyone around me is judging me, thinking that I'm trying to just cut through traffic and get somewhere quicker that's non-emergency related.
Yeah, I'll say to you the same thing I said to the anonymous emailer. I think that this is not like an ambulance thing. This is not a fire department thing. This is a police thing. This is a police thing where they end up just hitting the lights and the siren to blaze through a stoplight they don't want to wait for. Here's Synth Solution with a Taylor Swift conspiracy.
Hey, junkies, how's it going?
Hey.
I got a great conspiracy theory for Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl. And it very well may happen because the NFL is known for doing extreme levels of cringe.
All right.
Just imagine that during the entire game, she has her own camera feed in the corner of the screen like she's a freaking paperclip in Microsoft Office.
I need that.
Just imagine that and scream.
I think his name was Clippy.
Yeah, I need that for Triggergate, just to make this as triggering an event as we possibly can. And the other thing that I've heard, this is the actual Super Bowl conspiracy theory that people are believing in out there. They think that the reason why the media is focused on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and drawing all this attention to football is it's going to culminate in the Super Bowl, and Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift after the game in this huge moment are going to announce that they're endorsing Joe Biden for president of the United States of America. That's the conspiracy theory.
That's a conspiracy theory?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they think it's all orchestrated. Media is drawing all this attention to it. So this could be a huge promotion for Biden's reelection campaign.
That
and Taylor Swift is going to come out in support of President Biden for his reelection.
Weak conspiracy.
Yeah.
I mean, why would they have to do that at the Super Bowl? Just because of the number of eyes on them?
Yeah, and who's to say they want to get involved in politics at all? Taylor Swift got involved in politics one time in an election in Tennessee, I think, and I don't know if she liked the way it worked out for her. It's divisive, and she's kind of somebody who has a more general audience.
The person she was supporting did not win, so there was that.
Yeah, was it against Marsha Blackburn? I forgot. It was a while ago. But she wanted somebody else to win. She was very, very focused on women's reproductive rights.
I thought maybe she already had said something about it because I did read a tweet over the weekend that suggested that, but it might have just been for the joke. Because it said Taylor Swift endorsed Biden for president, which makes sense because 99% of her songs are about picking the wrong guy.
Bootsy Moonshine says, if that happens, I may vote for RFK Jr. I think that this is one of the dumbest conspiracy theories I've ever heard, but who knows? It'll make Triggergate even better if it does occur, if that happens. But they say that they think Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are going to be like, you just won the Super Bowl. Now what are you going to do? And instead of saying, I'm going to Disneyland, they're going to say, we're voting for Joe Biden in November, and you should too. So, is that going to happen? I think not likely. Let's go to another dispatch here. Here is the saltpeter. I don't think we did this one, did we?
Not only are they good cooks, the firemen, they are also great thieves.
Yeah?
Every person I've ever known that has had a fire at their home or anything, valuables, especially jewelry, and my buddy actually
I don't believe this.
gold and silver bars, little bars, and they were gone. So, I mean, the good and the bad.
Okay, first of all, I've never heard this. Another conspiracy.
I've never heard of this conspiracy.
That firefighters, when they go to a place and they're putting out the fire, they steal stuff.
Looting.
Yeah, loot during the opportunity that they have while they're there to put out a fire. Almost very close to 0% chance that is happening. Has it happened before? I'm sure it's happened once in the history of firefighters and being in these people's houses.
But that sounds like something that, unless like everybody was in on it, it would be something that they would kind of think as a stain on the job of firefighting. And you would want to out the people who have done it if there are.
Yeah, I'm not buying that for a second. I don't think that is any kind of widespread thing at all, but maybe you agree. Let us know what you think. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch. Here's the last one we'll do for now. Here is Diver Steve. Diver Steve's talking about education.
Good Monday to the News Junkie and crew.
Hey!
Hey, just wanted to weigh in on something that I heard last week about the Democrats were upset at the Republicans for thinking that a 16-year-old can make a decision whether he needs a high school diploma or not.
Mm-hmm.
This coming from the same Democratic Party that thinks that a 7-year-old can decide whether he needs his junk or not. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but going back and getting your high school diploma, I think, is a lot easier than going back and getting your junk. Also, let Fritz know that all chaps are assless, otherwise they would be called.
I knew somebody would.
Every
Would
time.
do it.
Every time, because this guy got actually at one point in his life, all right? Diver Steve, who's doing this stupid comparison about the transgender stuff. We don't see that everywhere on Twitter and stuff. Okay, so Diver Steve, at one point in his life, somebody said actually, when he said assless chaps, they said all chaps are assless, and don't be a dummy. And now, afterwards, that transforms you. It's like becoming a zombie. Changes you as a person. And anytime somebody says assless chaps after that, you go, actually, all chaps are assless. It truly does. I've seen this happen to so many people. And I just hear people say assless chaps, and I'm like, okay, it's one of those things that people just say.
I mean, I think of the actually part, but I also think what they're trying to get at when they say assless chaps is that nothing is being worn under them. Because correct me if I'm wrong, aren't chaps meant to be worn in such a way that your ass is not sticking out?
Yeah, you wear them over the jeans, don't you?
Right,
I'm no
exactly.
cowboy.
You're far from it.
I'm not allowed to go near that stuff. The last one is right here, our friend Mo Manji.
Hey guys, I hope you guys are doing well.
You too.
So it's not surprising to me that Sabrina didn't make it after the, bachelor party weekend. But what's surprising is that when you text Sean and C-Lane does not respond at all, and Sean reacts back to your text message. Wow, how the world's changing, how Sean's changing.
I was napping,
well, C-Lane
bro.
too. Thanks, bye.
I was napping, and I was gonna talk about going to your 40th birthday, but now
Now because he called you out, it's a no from you?
I don't know if it's a no. But, we'll see.
It's a maybe. All right. Okay.
I gotta get a
respond
center
to the
for
people.
these things now, Manji.
I know. Your life is totally different now as a result of that. You can't just leave Jackson behind yet. You have to wait until they're at least 1 year old so you can leave them home alone.
We had Saturday night. We had him watched and then delivered to us safely so that we could Uber out and enjoy the hockey game with Moses and friends, and then made a short appearance at a Taylor Swift dance party.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that you would show up at a place like that, but here we are.
We weren't going because there was a Taylor Swift dance party. We were going because we had a bunch of friends there working at the place. We had some friends that were 100% there because it was a Taylor Swift dance party.
Mm-hmm.
But, we were just like, all right, well, let's pop over and say hi to some of these people we haven't seen in a while.
Oh, the anti-Taylor Swift people are going to explode today. Oh, they're all their heads are popping off, I think, right now. When we come back, I want to talk to you about something you just said, C-Lane.
Taylor Swift dance party?
It's related to something you just said around that. It's a question that I've been thinking of for a little while. We'll get to that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Something on your mind? Text us at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
This is Clay Travis. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Starting the NBA where the Magic used a balance attack to beat the Suns in Orlando. Paolo Banchero led the charge. He had 26 points. Orlando will start a 5-game road trip that begins tonight in Dallas. Over to college hoops, 24th-ranked FAU knocked off North Texas. That was their 6th straight win. And the stage is set for Super Bowl 58. The Chiefs will take on the 49ers in Vegas. And DraftKings line favors San Fran by 1. I'm Scott Davidson.
The utterly inspired, all-electric EQE sedan from Mercedes-Benz. With hundreds of customizable comfort settings inside the cabin, it's the EV that recharges you. The vehicle is all electric. The feeling is all Mercedes. Learn more at mbusa.com/EQE.
The Arnold Palmer Invitational, presented by MasterCard, returns March 7th through the 10th. Follow your favorite PGA Tour pros as they go for glory. Score a high five at the White Claw Fan Deck. Get groovy at Throwback Thursday, presented by Corksicle. Or embrace your inner foodie at Wine and Dine on 9, presented by Kendall Jackson. For a premium experience, try Orange Grove, complete with all-inclusive food and bar service, including access to the storied Bay Hill Clubhouse. Visit ArnoldPalmerInvitational.com.
This is Jeff Kaufman from the Injury Law Firm of Kaufman Lind in the Under Oath podcast. You listen to a lot of attorney commercials, normally concerning the qualifications of that firm, that they will fight for you, that they don't get paid unless you get paid. Instead of doing a commercial, I'm just going to give you some free advice. If you get into a car accident, make sure you receive medical treatment from a doctor within 14 days. If not, the insurance companies can hold you responsible for the first $10,000 of your medical treatment. It's not if, but when you get into an accident. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back. Upsingers.
Backing you up. So I order food on EasyCater for a meeting with a new client in Jackson.
Gotta feed clients in Jackson.
On my way to the airport, it hits me. The client is actually in Jacksonville.
Feed clients in Jacksonville.
So I call EasyCater. Nina picks up right away.
Gonna fix it for you.
She called me right back and said you're all set.
Need to fix the Jackson accident.
Jackson? EasyCater has your back with 24/7 support. Order at EasyCater.com and know.
We got your back.
Are you ready for a clearer tomorrow? Well, for a limited time, the Filatowski Eye Institute is offering free LASIK consultation. Do what my son and my father-in-law did. Text 1041 to 868686. Schedule your free LASIK consultation today. They've performed over 65,000 LASIK procedures and use only the latest state-of-the-art LASIK tech. And they offer 24-month interest-free financing to qualified patients. And even better, you can use your Flex spending account for LASIK as well. Free yourself from glasses or contacts in 2024. Text 1041 to 868686 to schedule your free LASIK consultation at the Filatowski Eye Institute.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series is where names are made. And at Daytona, those names are bringing a whole lot of smoke. Austin wants the smoke. Justin wants the smoke. Cole and Haley, give them all the smoke. There's plenty to go around, but remember, if you can smell the smoke, that means you're not the one making it. The NASCAR Xfinity Series at Daytona, February 17th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
You're all set with your Medicare prescriptions, Mrs. Brown.
This is not just low-cost copays at Walgreens.
I can actually help you set up 90-day refills if you want.
This is having a partner you can trust. Get low-cost copays, 90-day refills, and delivery from your neighborhood Walgreens. This is being independent. Together. Walgreens.
Restrictions apply. For details, see walgreens.com/pharmacy.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
He's an American icon with countless hit songs that changed our lives. He stopped releasing music decades ago. Lucky for us, he's back now with a brand new song, and we've got it at iHeartRadio.
I had no intention of writing or singing or recording in a studio ever again.
Hear the iHeartRadio world premiere of Billy Joel's Turn the Lights Back On and the story behind how it all came together. Thursday morning at 7, right here.
This earful of real radio is...
$800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The most viral newsroom on the planet is still humming along. This
Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Some emails rolling in. This one from G. Wildersmith, and thank you for the email. It says, I was just listening to the 124 episode. That's January 24th, which was what, Thursday-ish, somewhere around there?
Wednesday.
Wednesday's show. And heard the part about the judge dismissing the ticket for the old man speeding to take his son to cancer treatment. If you missed that, it was like a super emotional moment where this incredibly old dude goes into court for a speeding ticket. And the reason why he was getting a speeding ticket was he was trying to get to his disabled son's doctor's appointment. And the whole thing was just like, oh, God, it was very sad. And this judge was really sweet to the old man, and they sort of had a moment together. But he says, that's Judge Frank Caprio, where I live in Rhode Island. He recently disclosed that he has pancreatic cancer, and it's probably why you can hear him get emotional speaking to the defendant. He's a much beloved figure in the state, and there's lots of videos of him being compassionate and giving breaks to people appearing in his court. Just thought I'd give you some more info on the story. Love listening to you guys on my overnight shifts. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop, says G. Thank you for the email. And Brett emails as well, the tips at thenewsjunkie.com. This is a holdover from the roast on Friday. So out of context, it just seems like the meanest email ever.
Oh, okay.
It's just, if you don't know that, and we're doing this on the show on Friday. If you didn't know that, it just seems like a mean email.
What if you emailed Brett back and he's like, what roast?
He's like, this says late listen, timely roast. All right, so you're willing to hear from Brett in his roast, C-Lane?
Yeah.
All right, here it is. Good evening, Sean and C-Lane. Up front, I must commend you two for standing strong in the pocket whilst insults and slurs were hurled your way. However,
well, they
much
weren't
like,
that bad, Brett, so...
yeah, it was so soft. He says, however, much like 90% of the content from this rudimentary radio show it infects its listeners with, the previous roasts were dull and simple. This, on the other hand, is not Sean's tiny hand. Might just be the catalyst necessary for the rude awakening that is so blatantly and obviously needed to catapult this colostomy bag of a show into something better. Doubtful, but we'll try, he said. He's just being mean so far, Brett. Just evil, mean stuff.
Never been called a colostomy bag before.
Today's the day. Sean, never in my life have I seen a man mature yet grow younger at the same time quite like you. You started this show with the voice of a castrated Korean chipmunk, but have matured your vocal cord into that of a chain-smoking Scandinavian lesbian. So you have that going for you, I suppose. A chain-smoking Scandinavian lesbian is quite the observation, sir. I don't know the
I want
reference.
to put that into the AI and have it draw me one.
Yeah, let me see what that looks like. It doesn't look like me. Simultaneously, at the ripe age of 53, no, I'm not 53, your wardrobe is akin to that of a special needs teenager who works at Target. You're online more often than the suicidal, acne-scarred 16-year-old girl, and you have a cabinet full of candy and cup of noodles like a helpless little kid. I don't have a cup of noodles here. I have the only candy I have. This is Moses. Moses does this stuff when he comes in here. It says he does the meme where it's like Sean never leaves the house. Right, that's one thing that he does, which is going to get worse this week because I didn't make it to the hockey event that he had going on. I just couldn't.
Buzz Decker texts me separately. He goes, "Do you think maybe we can get Sean to come next time?"
I was going to.
Get
I was
Sean
trying
out
to
out of his hole.
But then on Saturday, I go, I don't have any tickets for this. Like, I'm just going to show up to the event. I don't know what I was supposed to do necessarily. But yeah, I'll hear countless comments about that on Friday, I'm sure. Anyhow, where were we? Yet you drive your car like everybody punches in your dreams. You eat dry pancakes, and you're probably still trying to figure out that punches in their dreams line. You're slower than the...
I'm still trying to figure it out, too.
You're slower than the hair follicles still trying to reach daylight from C-Lane's half-bearded face. All right. Sean, you're a walking oxymoron, heavy emphasis on moron. One hypochondriatic, that's his word, not mine, event away from a heart attack. A Hyundai driver. It's a Hyundai, dude. I don't have a Hyundai. I have a Genesis G80. It's a luxury car. And such an odd human being that I'm here for every single bit of it, dude. You and your show keep me going every single day at work. The News Junkie is the epitome of hide the medicine in the candy. We stay informed through y'all while we laugh along the way. Thank you, and thanks Sabrina and C-Lane for everything. And Sean, think about it this way. At least you aren't some douchebag writing an email to a radio show at 11 p.m. on a Friday night. Things can always be worse. Love you, F-words. Stay golden, pony boy, says Brett. Thank you, Brett.
That for a while there, because it was lengthy.
Mm-hmm.
It was all Sean. I was like, uh-oh. Any minute now, he's going to be like, and C-Lane. I'm like, oh. But he didn't, so that was good.
No, it's good for you. I took the brunt of that one, or just all of it, really. Thanks, I think. Let's get into this. Here we go. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty. Whoops.
He did better than a lot of the people on Friday did.
Oh my God,
More
Friday
like
was
the News Drunkie.
It was so disappointing, the lack of skill with roasting us via dispatch that these people put on display. It was really, truly a letdown. So that was at least better than that. I'll give them that it was better than what we heard on Friday for sure. Okay, jury duty brought to you by Moses DeWitt and the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. A lot of you did get out to the whiteout hockey game this weekend, and thanks to the folks who did so. Looked like a blast. I've never been to one of those hockey games. I don't really go to hockey games, so that's why I was kind of on the fence about it.
Moses did the ceremonial puck drop. He dropped that puck like a son of a bitch.
I know. I told him this morning, I said, I saw the video of you dropping the puck. It came out really great. And he said, where'd you see it? He had no idea it was even posted anywhere. I said, oh, you got to see it. Like, the footage from the event looks fantastic. I think I'm going to, because Moses is always questioning me, thinking I live inside my house, and then I didn't make it out of this hockey event, I'm going to try to take him out to lunch this week. I'm going to see if he'll be willing to do that.
You know what time lunch usually is, right?
Well, at a different time. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take him out to eat this week. I'm going to try to see if Moses will let me take him out to eat to make up for it and show him that I get out of my house. We were out like crazy this week. We went and did all kinds of stuff this weekend. We're picking up on all sorts of new things.
I had to pick up stuff from your house, and I was like, I don't know if Sean's going to be there with the amount of stuff that he does. Or, he's bringing Ronting back.
Yeah, we had just gotten back from going out to eat, and we were just getting ready to go out somewhere else. Now I'm trying to use the weekends in a smarter way. And that was part of it. But I'm ashamed I did not get to make it to that hockey game. All right. Anyhow, all this is to tell you that Mo DeWitt is the guy from the DeWitt Law Firm. If you are in an accident, he's the one you reach out to. 866-CALL-MO, 866-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. You have many choices. There's lots of attorneys out there, but there are very few attorneys that actually care about you and your case in the way that the DeWitt Law Firm does. So that's why I recommend this. Injured on the go, just call Mo. Go to justcallmo.com. Call 866-CALL-MO. All right. There were a bunch of people who were arrested after they threw soup at the Mona Lisa in Paris at the Louvre, of course. Almost went to the Louvre, but the line for the Louvre is a nightmare, man. If you go to Paris and you're walking around and you see the Louvre, because it's underground, basically, you just see like a little pyramid, like a glass pyramid that pokes out of the ground. And then in front of that glass pyramid, there's a line. And the line is like hours and hours and hours and hours long. It's unbelievable how long the line is.
Just to look at the Mona Lisa.
To look at the other stuff, too. But the Mona Lisa is the big get there. And the Mona Lisa, can I just say this? Can I say the thing a lot of other people are thinking they're just not willing to say out loud?
Comes the hot take.
The Mona Lisa is a terrible painting. It's a terrible painting. It's not even a painting of an attractive woman to begin with. And it's not a good painting at all. And the Mona Lisa, when it first came out, wasn't even very famous. The Mona Lisa became famous because somebody stole it, and there were a bunch of news stories in the newspaper at the time about the stolen painting. And then when it was returned to the museum, they're like, oh, let's go see the one that somebody stole. Let's go check that out. That's why it became famous. It's the size of a damn postage stamp. When you go see it, you're like, is this thing really impressive? What do we got here? What is this? And now, well, it was covered in soup at least for some time.
My grandparents had a Mona Lisa up in their
Did they really?
Room. Yeah. And I used to be like, hey, is this an original? Because you're so old.
Oh, God. Here the protesters are at the Louvre throwing soup cans and soup at the Mona Lisa.
Annoying.
They're very upset. These are climate change doomers, the climate change kids. They're upset about what's happening with the world. And so they want to, of course, as one would think when you're worried about the environment, to draw attention to that, you throw soup at famous paintings. Meanwhile, the stupid Mona Lisa is covered in glass. So all they have to do is hit it with some water and dry it off, and you have done no damage. But you are really not winning friends and influencing people. I don't know why people are so bad at this. Protesters are worse than they ever have been. They really are. They're just not good at winning people over. Your protest shouldn't be to block traffic and annoy everyone in the city you're in. Your protest should be to try to get people to be aware of your cause and win them over. Soup at the Mona Lisa ain't doing it for me, friend. I'm sorry. It's just not going to work. Okay, when we come back, I've been wanting to get into this for a couple of days, but there's renewed interest in the Scott Peterson case. I want to talk about why that's happening and what's going to happen next, and plus something that people at the airport are doing that you are not going to believe, but it's true, and it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1, brought to you by Mills Air.
There's a couple accidents to watch out for on I-4 eastbound before Lake Mary Boulevard. The right lane is blocked. I-4 eastbound before US 27. The right lane is blocked. And the left shoulder is blocked on I-4 eastbound after US 27. Checking in on the beach line, it's still closed westbound near Innovation Way. Travel with caution through there. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. Protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
If you're ready for some outdoor family fun, head to Sanford Riverwalk on Saturday, February 3rd for the Touch a Truck event. The Seminole County Office of Emergency Management is hosting this disaster equipment showcase for Severe Weather Awareness Week, where everyone can see and experience vehicles and equipment from agencies that respond during and after severe weather events and disasters. Saturday, February 3rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., it's time to touch a truck at the Sanford Riverwalk at Fort Mellon Park. Head to realradio.fm/events for more details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart, it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back. Up Singers.
Backing you up. So I order food on EasyCater for a meeting with a new client in Jackson.
Gotta feed clients in Jackson.
On my way to the airport, it hits me. The client is actually in Jacksonville.
Feed clients in Jacksonville. See?
So I call EasyCater. Nina picks up right away.
Gonna fix it for you.
She called me right back and said, you're all set.
Nina fixed the Jackson accident.
Jackcident? EasyCater has your back with 24/7 support. Order at easycater.com and know.
We got your back.
If your business is looking to add talent to your team, sign up for the Florida Jobs Now Job Fair. The Job Fair will be promoted across iHeartMedia's 13 Central Florida radio stations. That reaches nearly 2 million people. Get the word out about your open positions and attract top talent. Join us at the Orlando Science Center Wednesday, March 13th from noon to 4 p.m. For more information on how your business can participate, go to fljobsnow.com and click on the Get More Info tab. That's fljobsnow.com.
It's hot. We all know that. Have you noticed your power bill is skyrocketing? The current cost of energy is the highest it's ever been, and it's probably going to just keep getting higher. Solar Source can change that for you. I recently took the plunge with Solar Source with my pool heater, and man, it's been a game changer. I love working with Solar Source. Solar Source has nearly 40 years in the business. They bring the power of the sun to over 6,000 Central Florida homes since 1984. Mine and my mom's and my sister's included. Solar Source makes it easy with a free estimate. Monster listeners, they have an online tool that lets you get your own solar estimate in just 30 seconds. No pressure, no salesman, just the facts. You can harness your own power and stop wasting thousands of dollars every year renting your electricity at higher and higher prices. Visit solarsource.com/monsters and see how easy it is to get your instant hassle-free quote. Solar Source, the most trusted name in solar. solarsource.com/monsters.
It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose, making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible, so Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Attention, our friends from Guarantee Media are giving away 4 days in Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico with hotel and airfare included for only $99 to the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551. It's only for the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551. They give you up to a year and a half to travel, but you must be one of the first 50 to text MUSIC to 96551. Grab your phone and text the word MUSIC to 96551 for your chance to get 4 days in Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico with hotel and airfare included for only $99. That's MUSIC to 96551. You heard right. Be one of the first 50 listeners to text MUSIC to 96551 and vacation to Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or Mexico.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back, Up Singers.
Backing you up. So I order food on EasyCater for a meeting with a new client in Jackson.
Gotta feed clients in Jackson.
On my way to the airport, it hits me. The client is actually in Jacksonville.
Feed clients in Jacksonville. Oopsie.
So I call EasyCater. Nina picks up right away.
Gonna fix it for you.
She called me right back and said, "You're all set."
Nina fixed the Jackson accident.
Jackson? EasyCater has your back with 24/7 support. Order at EasyCater.com and know.
We got your back.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment changeouts and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
No payments for 3 months with approved credit? Visit nationstrucks.com right now.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, PAY. P-A-Y. Pay. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Filling you in on the shocking details. Just try not to pass out.
Junkie.com and hit record. Bam, you're on the show. Big warning. Throw up the bad signal. Alarm bells going off for Gen Z folks right now. Like, this could be catastrophic.
What happened?
For half the generation, right? They are about to make a big crackdown. We've seen crackdowns in the past, and you see people get screwed over as they decide that you're not allowed to have access to something anymore. And right now, the politicians have been made aware of what's happening with so many Gen Z kids. They are trying to crack down on Zyn nicotine pouches, friend. And this is something a lot of you probably don't know about. You're like, what was that? But if you're between like 16 and 25, you know exactly what Zyn is. You know what these nicotine pouches are.
Or
and
odds are they just this brand? Is this another Juul kind of
Zyn's
situation?
The big one. Yeah, Zyn's the big one. I think they almost completely control the market. And it's like these little pouches that you put in your mouth with nicotine in them. And I saw a younger woman one time sit her purse down at the bar, and her bar was like her purse was like overflowing with these Zyn pouches, like dropping out all over the place. I'm like, oh my God, there's young people that just go to town with these things. And they're saying these Zyn nicotine pouches are dangerous, and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and Federal Trade Commission may take action against Zyn's marketing practices and health effects.
I went to Zyn's website, and normally if you go to the website of an alcohol purveyor, say, it would make you put in your birthday to make sure that you're 21, because the alcohol website is only for people who are 21 or people who lie about their birthdays.
Yeah.
Now, the Zyn website makes you register, not just put in your
just
birthday.
To go to the website?
Register or log in to go to the website. And I clicked register, and the first question was, are you a nicotine user? I clicked no, and it says access denied.
My God.
In big-ass letters, Zyn, access denied, under which it says Zyn nicotine pouches are only for current nicotine users ages 21 plus. Since you're not a current nicotine user, there's no need to register on our website because Zyn isn't for you. They're literally telling you we don't want new customers, or we don't want new customers that aren't current nicotine users. So maybe that's like a cover your ass thing for them to be able to say, hey, we are to help people quit smoking, not start a nicotine addiction.
Sure, and they're really, really on edge here. They're worried that they're going to get jeweled. Radio Michael 7 on YouTube says you see them all the time in urinals. I've seen them at like bars and club-style places. You see them all over the place because you can do this anywhere. It's not as gross to people as dip is, and it's something you could do inside.
You can swallow?
Yeah, well, you don't have to. I mean, you just put it in your mouth and you spit it out when you're done. But it's just a pouch, right? It's just like a pouch that has this the nicotine in it.
Yeah, but they have dip pouches, like traditional chewing tobacco, or dip pouches where you still have to spit.
Mm-hmm. But you don't have to with this, I don't think.
Right.
I think you literally just put it in your lip, and it kind of like gets into the skin in your lip and delivers the nicotine in there.
There's some airlines that would still say that you're not allowed to do this on the plane.
Can't even do that?
Even though you're not hurting anybody.
I've never seen a website do that before, though. Usually it's just age verification. Like, it's hard to get on their website. That's kind of crazy to me. So that's happening, and you got to be careful because when politicians get obsessed with this stuff, They feel like they've stumbled on a new thing, and they get excited. And they go, we're going to save all the kids. So that might be something that you see the access to disappear just a little bit. People are now changing their tickets to avoid flying on Boeing 737 MAX 9 planes, they say. They being San Francisco Gate, the newspaper. On January 5th, you had the Alaska Airlines situation. And after that, we've had a bunch of fallout for these 737 MAX 9 planes. And I don't know how much I believe this, but this story is saying that people are checking when they book a flight what kind of plane that they're on, and they don't want to fly on the 737 MAX 9 planes.
That's a lot of extra work, because I know that you typically, when you book a flight, see what kind of plane it's on, but that's not usually a parameter that you could filter in your search.
No, because they figure you wouldn't care that much.
No.
But now, I still think 99% of people look for one thing: price. They look for the price of the flight. Is it a nonstop flight? What brand of flight? Or what's the airline that I'm flying on? They look at those things and they find those to be very important. I don't know that the average person right now is actively avoiding flying on those planes, or how much they're aware of it. All right, before we get to your voice, your dispatches, and your reactions, I want to talk about this because it's been popping up over and over and over again. Wouldn't be surprised if we had some new series on this. There's an active movement underway to try to free Scott Peterson, who was accused and convicted in 2004 of murdering his wife, Lacey Peterson, who was 27 years old at the time, and their unborn son, Connor, because Lacey Peterson was 8 months pregnant. Now, one of these huge Innocence Project groups has said that we think that this was unfair, and we don't think that Scott Peterson is guilty, and so we're going to advocate on his behalf and try to free Scott Peterson. Just so you know, I am as sure that Scott Peterson killed his wife and unborn child. I am as sure that he did that as I am sure that O.J. Simpson killed Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. He just absolutely did. But you have these Innocent Project groups that come forward.
He was not guilty.
Yeah, they say he didn't do it. The whole thing's a travesty of justice. They do this with so many of these cases, and people go, oh, you see that? There was an innocent man in prison for all those years. They did this with the Central Park Five. They'll have you believe that these people had nothing to do with anything that was happening in Central Park, and it was all just a big conspiracy. And it's like, no. If you look at these cases, so many times you'll find out that while there may have been some issues, there still was an underlying crime that happened here. But Scott Peterson is just pretty cut and dry. The dude had a secret boat that barely anybody knew about, if anybody, including his wife. He had a secret boat.
Well, she's kind of the one you don't want to know about the boat the most.
To know about that secret boat. And he was cheating on her with multiple people, including some of them that testified to the case. But all of that aside, the thing that is, to me, just the end-all, be-all in the Scott Peterson case, if your friends start bringing this up, is Scott Peterson left his home, decided to go on a just spontaneous fishing trip, not something that he was commonly doing at the time, decided to fish for sturgeon and brought no tackle for sturgeon fishing and brought a brand new pole that wasn't equipped to reel in a sturgeon. And the pole didn't appear to be used after his time there. He drove 90 miles, right? 90 miles away from his and Lacey Peterson's home in his vehicle with this boat, put the boat in the water, went out for a total of 45 minutes or so, brought the boat back to land, and drove the 90 miles back home. And the one thing that we absolutely, positively know without a shadow of a doubt is that months later, Lacey Peterson, her body, and Connor, the unborn child, were both found right there in that very same body of water. So to me, it couldn't be more clear that Scott Peterson killed his wife and was responsible for all of this. It's just not like it just so happens that they were in the same area, but I've seen some truthers out there. I've seen a lot of people who look at this and they go, hey, I don't think he did it. I think Scott Peterson's in jail and he should be released. Christina says on Twitch, curious, do you have an opinion on the West Memphis 3 case? That's a super interesting one. The West Memphis 3, if you're unaware, if you're the uninitiated, were 3 young kids, obviously, in West Memphis, and there was a murder, and these kids ended up in jail. And it wasn't until a series of documentaries came out. Paradise Lost, I think, was the name of the documentary, the first one. And they claimed in these documentaries that these kids were innocent. They shouldn't be behind bars. And they fought for them. And eventually they weren't found innocent. They just took an Alford plea, which if you've never heard of an Alford plea, ALFORD, I believe, in court, that means that you are neither saying that you are guilty or innocent, but it was a way for them to get out, for them to release the West Memphis.
Is that like a no contest?
Kind of, yeah. And it was a way for them to just release these kids. But the problem with the West Memphis 3, if you read the court documents on that case, which I have read, and I also read them on the Scott Peterson case, I'm up on most of those cases. In the West Memphis 3 case, the young kids that they arrested had all at one point or another, they had admitted to committing the murder. So they confessed to this on the record, and that's what they had to kind of work with. So their confessions, once they were out there, were hard to put the genie back in the bottle. And I don't believe that they were responsible for the death. I think that they were just like kind of weirdo teenagers who got caught up in something very, very bad. As far as who was responsible, there's a lot of theories on that, and I don't think we're ever going to find out exactly what happened. Interesting case, though. If you're not familiar with it, you can still go back and watch those documentaries. I think they still remain interesting to this day. Okay, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, somebody's mad about the Mona Lisa rant. People in Tampa, they're definitely mad because there's a sound out there that just won't stop. It will not stop. And they're trying to figure out where it's coming from. Maybe we have some ideas of what's happening here. Let's see if we could solve the problem. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Checking in on I-4, authorities are clearing up an accident eastbound before Lake Mary Boulevard. Expect delays due to an accident on I-4 eastbound before US 27. Checking in on the beach line, all westbound lanes are still blocked. Eastbound, no major problems. Use State Road 520 as an alternate route. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Take your Valentine's experience to a whole new level this year with jewelry, flowers, candy, dinner, and a flyaway romantic getaway. All courtesy of International Diamond Center. Nothing says I love you like romantic jewelry from IDC. From a simple pendant to an exquisite designer ring, we've got a fantastic selection of affordable, timeless gifts. And this year, with any jewelry purchase at IDC of $129 or more, we're giving you some long stem roses, some delicious chocolates, and a gift card for dinner from Vito's or Fishbones. It's one-stop shopping for all things romantic. And if you really want to take it up a notch, we're also giving away island getaways. Just spend $5,000 on jewelry and you'll get a $500 airfare credit for a Caribbean vacation. Spend $10,000 on our jewelry and get 3 nights including airfare at a tropical resort. On us. Make this Valentine's one to remember. Let IDC help you with your jewelry, flowers, chocolates, dinner, and a romantic vacation. We've got it all. Happy Valentine's from International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando locations. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
Hey,
It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose, making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible, so Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
It's the U.S. Olympic Marathon Trials this Saturday at 8 a.m. Join us in downtown Orlando at the Dr. Phillips Center for the ultimate free Fan Fest experience. Enjoy food trucks, live music, and vendors, and see the runners as they race towards their Olympic dreams from 4 different fan zones downtown. Experience the thrill of the U.S. Olympic Marathon Trials this Saturday, 8 a.m. Join us decked out in red, white, and blue for a day of inspiration and unforgettable memories. Visit Orlando2024trials.com. Presented by Visit Orlando.
Here at Massey, we've seen the damage termites can cause. That's why we've protected homes from termite damage for almost 100 years. Our termite protection program doesn't just protect your home from termites, it gives you peace of mind. That's why our termite protection guarantee covers your home and all the things in it. When we protect against termites, we protect families. Schedule your free inspection today at MasseyServices.com. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
At one of the most famous restaurants in the world, there's a table in the corner where the most incredible conversations on the planet are happening every week with owner Ruthie Rogers and amazing guests like Martha Stewart.
But I did have an affair with one of his best friends.
Jimmy Fallon.
Do you want to zip line over your dad while he gets attacked by alligators?
And Paul McCartney.
John and I hitchhiked to Paris.
We've saved you a seat. Ruthie's Table 4. Listen to Ruthie's Table 4 on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
No payments for 3 months with approved credit? Visit nationstrucks.com right now.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, PAY. P-A-Y. Pay. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Face first into the world's most viral newsroom.
Stuff happening, and people are wondering what's next. And some people want to give a funeral for radio as if nobody listens to radio anymore, which couldn't be further from the truth. People with cars still mostly wake up, and like 90% of the population turn on the radio and listen to some station out there. And now there's just more competition. You know, there's a lot of people who are vying for your attention. We're just blessed and thankful that you give us yours each day on this show. Truly, I thank you for that. But I'd like a little bit of this as well, because I just saw the story from Variety that Sirius XM, and Sirius is, they're trying to figure out what to do. They're trying to offload old man Stern, get rid of him. He's way too expensive for them. It's preposterous that they're paying the amount of money that they are to do the show that he is, which is just, I see the subreddit for Howard Stern's show. I haven't heard that show in probably 4 or 5 years, but it's pretty bad from what I can tell. The show is really falling apart. And he wants to completely ignore his history as a broadcaster. You know, I saw one of the headlines like a couple of months back where Howard Stern was like, "Hell yeah, I'm woke. I'm this and I'm that." I'm like, this is the guy who threw baloney at chicks' asses for quite some time. Like, didn't this guy have meemaws on the Sybian in the studio? Like,
the first video I saw of Howard Stern, my friend, his mom had it, and we would watch it sometimes because we thought it was hilarious. But it was called Howard Stern's Butt Bongo Fiesta.
Right. All this stuff, he wants to disappear. He doesn't want people to remember him for that. I think he's deathly afraid that they'll come after him and cancel him, which it almost happens a lot on social media because some newbie who says, "Oh, I like that Howard Stern is still afraid of COVID here." Some newbie will go, "He's awesome." And then someone will bring out one of the many different blackface photos of him or him using the N-word repeatedly and bits on his show over the years.
There was a thing, I want to say it was last year, but it may have been even before that. There was a short time, I don't know why this footage surfaced, but there were people that saw an interview that Paris Hilton did with Opie and Anthony. And they were like, "Oh my gosh, they treated her abhorrently. They need to be thrown off the radio." And I think even Opie was like, okay, duh.
Fine.
That happened a long time ago.
Right. Yeah. None of those guys even work with each other anymore or on the radio.
Like each other.
Yeah. Or like each other. But Stern cost them a lot of money. He still costs them a lot of money. He barely ever works. I think he works like 3 days a week. And you can just listen to a show when it's dying. You can listen to a show when things are when it used to be. Let me give you an anecdote. All right, years and years ago, I knew a guy who had a string of websites, and they were all adult entertainment websites, crazy viral videos and stuff before YouTube and any of those sites existed. And there was, I think it was when Britney Spears was getting out of a vehicle and there was like a shot of her crotch and she wasn't wearing any underwear. And everybody was talking about that one day.
I used to hang out at a bar that had that picture like framed on the wall.
Oh my God. So this guy that I knew, he posted that photo up on his website. And the network of websites was a little bigger, but they had one called consumptionjunction.com. One was steakandcheese.com. And there were several others that he had. And these were all launched on the back of Howard Stern saw the Britney Spears crotch photo on consumptionjunction.com and mentioned it in passing on the show. And he's like, "This site's cool. You should check it out." And overnight, everybody starts rushing to this website and they start building on that. And he creates a network of sites that he eventually sold for millions of dollars, right? And that was because so many people were listening to that show and really, really tuned in and activated. And now I think he could mention a website, and I don't know if they would even recognize that additional traffic came in. The audience is not activated. It's not the thing going right now. It's just dead. It's dead in the water. So you got to find out what's new, right? This is the point of me talking about this, is what's the next thing that they're going to do, especially in satellite radio, to keep people's interest. And here's a story that'll show you, I think, where the path is for them ahead, or at least where they think they should go. Sirius XM Inc.'s Smartless podcast to a 3-year deal worth $100 million plus.
Right.
The folks from Smartless, they have made themselves incredibly wealthy off of this podcast, and they were already doing pretty damn well, weren't they? Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes. I have only heard about 2 or 3 episodes of this podcast, but I very much like them.
It's a go-to for us if we're on a long drive. If we're anywhere over like 20, 30 minutes, if we're heading up to the coast, to visit people, or when we went to, we listened to a really good one. I told you guys a little bit about this. When we were on our way to the Lantern Festival that we went to for New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And they had Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was just like, it's the podcast thing has, and I think mostly will be for people who are already famous.
Mm-hmm.
And their guests are also famous people.
Yeah, right. They have the access.
That whole like design works very, very well. I think the best podcasts that aren't famous people are like these murder podcasts, these crime ones. and then, of course, ours.
Yeah. Thank God, But when I see this, I go, I think this is where they're going to head, where they say, we're going to get the first run of new shows. You got to go listen on satellite radio first. I think people might just wait. And then they make all kinds of other deals with them, and they get $100 million over this 3-year agreement. Before that, they had to deal with Amazon for about $80 million. This is the way I think they're going to point the ship over on satellite radio, since there's huge audiences for that. And the beauty of Smartless, honestly, is it's pretty much not political. It's like it's to such a general audience that it's about laughing. And
they've had political people on there, but it's mostly apolitical. Like there was.
It's about the funny, right? Like it's just about the comedy of it all.
Have you watched any of the? Or they'll have interesting people on, like something where that they think is going to kind of like scratch that itch. You're like, oh man, this guy has a really fascinating job. We'll talk to this guy. Did you see any of the behind the scenes, or that series they had on HBO?
I didn't. I still want to watch that because you were telling me about that.
There was a really cringe episode where one of them got this guest, and he was a very influential, doctor of some sort of physics, and he was knows all this space stuff, and they were like, this guy's going to be fascinating. And the audience was bored.
It didn't go over well.
It was so cringe. You were just like, oh man, this one was a failure. And what is the audience? I'm sure some of them found out that the previous night's audience or previous night's guest was Conan O'Brien.
That's going to be a fun one, right?
Or Will Ferrell or something. And so they were like, they went back to the drawing board after that one, and they're like, we need to clean up whatever guests we have that aren't going to be big names or really funny. And so they ended up calling in a ringer because one of their upcoming guests for this tour was AOC. And that was the whole reason I'm telling the story, is because they do actually bring in political people once in a while.
Yeah.
So we're going to have an AOC on. They're like, I don't know if AOC's enough. Let's just have Bradley Cooper run on stage midway through. And they're like, all right, cool. We're done. We're done.
Nice that they can do that.
Yeah,
My God.
call in that ringer.
That's a good Rolodex to have. No, I give them credit. Hats off to them. They do a good show. It's fun. It's well done. I think that kind of stuff is smart right now. People are kind of tired of the same old, and they have been in radio for a while. So you got to reinvent the wheel a little bit, and you got to keep people's attention. And you got to think at the beginning, give him credit where credit is due. And you can get mad about this if you want. Would you have me lie to you? I'm just telling you how I honestly feel. At the very beginning, when Stern went to satellite, he obviously helped launch those companies. He really drove a bunch of subscribers in and did big things. But that has just died. Now, this is a weird old man now who's so out of touch and very, very uninteresting. And from what I could tell, just rants about COVID and stuff every day. It's like, how are you going to keep eardrums when that's what you got going on? I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work for you.
I think a lot of what his product has now that, for people that don't listen to his show is mainly the guests that he is able to get because of his popularity, because he's famous.
Yeah.
And some of the musical performances and stuff that come along with that. Of all the content of his that I've watched in the last couple years has mostly been, hey, there was a really good acoustic performance on here. And sometimes it's just a performance, or sometimes it's the interview as well. But that's what I watch of his.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that kind of pops up anymore. Albino on YouTube says, like his content or not, Stern possesses something Wasson never will. A strong, dedicated work ethic. Can't find that on a bar stool, and Wassoff is definitely the bar's tool. A lot of really bad jokes in there. Wassoff being my favorite amongst them. But you just said that a man has a dedicated work ethic, and he works 3 days a week for 3 hours a day.
Yeah, dude.
And I think he takes off the entire summer. And, you're saying a man has a dedicated work ethic who probably does less than 100 shows a year would be my guess. All right. So you're really, really not in touch with what you're talking about at the moment. Let's go over to Tampa. Why not? Let's do that. We find out that some residents in Tampa are upset and they're raising money to figure out once and for all the source of a funky, low bass sound that has been keeping them up at night. Meanwhile, some fish in Tampa Bay are preparing to blush because they think the sound is being made by black drumfish mating in Tampa Bay, which I've never heard that before, but I guess it sounds like bass when
the black drumfish keep time way better than the white drumfish.
Must be that. Resident Sarah Healy has started a GoFundMe page that has nearly met its $2,500 goal. At that point,
Somewhere there's 7 drummers laughing their ass off right now.
Scientist James Locascio of the Mott Marine Laboratory and Aquarium in Sarasota, they're going to use the money to install underwater microphones, which he suspects will confirm that fish are the noisemakers, these black drumfish. Never heard of them before, and I guess that's what they think the sound is coming from. They're all having sex. They're all mating together, and that is causing this weird, like, funky bass line sound. Imagine if we made noises like that when we all had sex. That would be something else. Just a funky bass line coming out of you.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
That's what happens with them, I guess. It's a pretty uncommon phenomenon, they said. All these people are surprised about this because it is not well known. I haven't heard the sound yet. I've got to try to look that up. But first, I'm going to work in, 3 or 4 dispatches maybe. Here's Poor Soul talking about police running stoplights. Go ahead.
Hey there, green shirt. I'm a police officer, and nothing gets my adrenaline going more than hitting my red and blue lights and blowing through a few intersections.
Yeah, brother.
Rush to Publix and get me some of that nice, crispy fried chicken and a sweet tea. So worth it to make everybody else move out of the way so I can get what I want.
I only listened to about half of what he said there, but I was distracted by something because he mentioned Publix, which is, for those of you not in the southeastern United States, Publix is king down here. It's the grocery store. It's got fans. People love Publix, okay? And
my wife has Publix slip-ons.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great place. Like, I can't even hate on Publix. It's a great place. Also, a great business. It's the largest employee-run business in the country, I believe. But Publix has fried chicken, and Courtney was just talking about this last night. She's like, oh, man, the fried chicken at Publix is really actually very good.
Yeah.
And I said, I've never had that in my entire life.
Really?
I've gone my whole life, never won. Obviously, I've had the subs that they're so very famous for, and I think the hype is worth it. I think that they have some great subs at Publix. But I never once have had the fried chicken that people just swear by at that place. I just have not. I don't know how we haven't crossed paths. But
I mean, I'm surprised you have. Well, you don't go to Publix that often. A lot of times, if you hit it right at the right time, you park there, you get out of the car, they're frying it, and I think they're pointing the vent at the parking lot.
Directing it over there.
That's my big Publix conspiracy, is that they like direct fan the fry exhaust at the parking lot, because the first thing I smell, like, oh man, I would love to just rip through a bag of their fried chicken right now. It's good. It's really crispy. It's salty.
I might have to get on that. I'll be won over, I'm sure, at some point in time. When we come back, final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Monday. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
This week on the Jim Colbert Show, your chance to win tickets to see the legend Bob Dylan coming in March to the Walt Disney Theater at the Dr. Phillips Center. That is the prize this week when we play JCS Trivia. Good luck.
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hi there, here's your midday weather forecast update. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. Today, breezy and the high temperature only reaching close to 62 degrees. That's about 10 degrees cooler than normal. Make sure you have a light jacket with you if you're heading out. Tonight, down into the 40s, the wind calming down. Tomorrow, mid and upper 60s, ultimately warming up to 70 by the end of the week. So it will be a very pleasant and very quiet, very sunny week, followed by thunderstorms, strong ones by Sunday. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With a super low down payment, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com. Down payments vary, does not mean savings. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Let me tell you about a fantastic company, and that is Mills Air. You've heard me mention Mills Air before, but I mean this. If you are getting ready for spring and summer, which is, be here before you know it, and the warm weather that arrives with it, you need to make sure that you're in good hands. And if you're like me and you don't know how to fix all that stuff, just relax. Call the professionals over at Mills Air because they will take care of you and they will not take advantage of you like so many other companies do. They want a customer for life, and that's what they have in me because they have the best techs out there that can service any kind of AC. It doesn't matter what kind of AC you have. They are ready to help you out. And if you need a new AC, they're a Carrier factory authorized dealer. Why would you ever pay more with anybody else when they can get you up to $1,275 in rebates toward a brand new Carrier unit? This is the smart move to make. You can go to their website, millsair.com, or give them a call. They will help you out, and they will treat you right. So trust them like I do. Call today to schedule your appointment. It's 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
You made it through the holidays. Now it's time to figure out if that constant sniffle is a cold or allergies. Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help. I know, you're busy. Who has time to get an allergy test and go in for weekly allergy shots? At Aspire, we make it easy by providing same-day results and a treatment plan tailored just for you. Forget the over-the-counter meds. Aspire has solutions that actually work, so you can say goodbye to allergies for good. Go to AspireAllergy.com to schedule your appointment. That's AspireAllergy.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I'm often asked, how'd you become the largest injury firm in the world? The answer is simple. We cared a lot. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our clients have lawyers, case managers, and legal assistants always in the office. Every client has their attorney's cell phone number. Our results in client satisfaction. That's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
One of the most influential metal bands of all time. For the fans, for the brothers, for legacy. Pantera. February 5th, Emily Arena. With special guests, Lamb of God. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Pantera.
Just the same, but is 95% cheaper, and you can get it online. Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
We all make resolutions this time of year, and let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but will help you feel healthier all year long. Navage. Navage provides quick, drug-free nasal relief by washing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. This time of year, when everyone is sick, Navage helps by sucking out germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. And unlike medications that can take time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage helps treat congestion symptoms in seconds flat, without drugs. This New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Get ready for the big game with the free iHeartRadio app. Pre-game with perfectly tailored playlists like Big Game Tailgate Party and more. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Tailgate, and listen now. Make the big game great with iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
I had so many dreams, but life quickly got in the way. Then, Rasmussen University saw my true potential and gave me the support and confidence I needed to become who I am today. Rasmussen University. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
No one's really sure what all C-Lane's buttons actually do. This is the news.
Make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Monday. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We do appreciate you. And we got a big week in store. As I said, Just Okay 8 is right on the horizon. That's coming up on March 16th at the Plaza Live. And tickets go on sale very, very soon for that, all right? To find out when, well, you might want to be paying attention. You might want to follow social media profiles and all that good stuff. Secret Show subscribers will get the first heads up. If you want to learn more about Secret Shows, the uncensored shows, go over to thenewsjunkie.com. But as I said with everything else, they always get the heads up. Hey, here's the link before everybody else does. And those are going to go very, very fast. We talked earlier about how we're reworking some things this year. It's going to be about the overall experience, and it's going to be about making things great for the VIP folks who we saw what happened last year with some stuff like lines that were too long and, just minor issues. Everybody had a blast last year, really. But can you make it better? Yeah. And I think that's what we're going to be doing this year. So you'll get some more details on that in just a moment. Sean on YouTube says, Wasson lost his razor. No, I'm going to shave after the show. I just didn't have enough time beforehand. Scheduling gets tight around here, and I got a lot of stuff to do today.
When you just have the facial hair, people don't, mention it as much. Like, no. I mean, I know how I feel when I go too long without shaving, and the neck is all beardy and stuff. Like,
yeah,
this could come off. But nobody mentions it like they mention it to you because they're like, this guy is supposed to be a baby-faced.
Lazy. You're lazy over here. That's what they think when they see me like this. You're right. I was thinking before the show, it was like 15 minutes before the show started. I said, can I run upstairs right now and shave fast enough? What a nightmare it would be if I'm in the middle of shaving and I realize I only have a couple minutes left, so I got to run down and start the show. And if only some of my facial hair remained, maybe like a little bit on my lip in the center or something, we could have catastrophe on our hands. This could be very, very bad. I could look like Adolf Hitler when I start the show. Nobody's going to believe me that was an accident. So I said no, and I'm going to do it afterwards instead. But thank you for noticing. We are now going to go into the final dispatches here. Jimbo Slice sent us a dispatch. This says Black Man Publix Chicken. I don't know where he's going with that, but let's go on the journey together.
Sounds like a good destination.
Hey, my first dispatch.
Well, can't hear you. Your first dispatch, sir. I understand that, but please play the next one back and listen to it so you can make sure it's nice and clear and loud and all that good stuff. Here's Solomon talking about Howard Stern.
Hey, it's Kansas Trucker.
Hey.
Yeah, I've been listening to Howard Stern for many years. When he went to Sirius, he took 6 million. He bought over 6 million subscribers, and you figure at, I don't know, it was like $39 a month. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But since COVID, it's a perfect world. He stays in his house in Long Island and talks to the radio. The show's not really that good. I don't listen to it live anymore. I listen to it on Thursday and Friday, the replays. But yeah, it's not really. His interviews are very good, but the show itself, nah, it's not really any good.
I always like how people give folks credit for interviews. To be like, oh my God, he's such a great interviewer. And you go, to be a great interviewer is not a difficult thing, folks. All you have to do is research the person you're going to talk to and ask interesting questions. It's not something that should be lauded. The problem is so many people are so bad at it that people go, wow, that was really good. The simple task was made to look very easy by this person. Okay, let's do the stories that didn't make the cut. Brought to you by Nations Trucks. Love our friends over there. Go get the truck of your dreams at nationstrucks.com. Those folks are fantastic. And all the stories made the cut. That's what we're going to do
good for
here.
you, Stories.
That's right, Stories. You did it. They said
Right.
you couldn't, and here you are.
We really double-teamed those stories, didn't we?
That's right, we did. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Monday, January 29th, 2024. Today I Learned sponsored by J. David Tax Law. Peace of mind is only a click or a phone call away. Today I Learned on this show.
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons is correct. Yes, indeed. The voice actors on The Simpsons, they all make the same amount of money. Each one of them makes the same paycheck. They also all do a ton of voices, just in case you didn't know. Nobody does just like one voice, I don't think. I think almost everybody on The Simpsons has like a giant cast of the different characters they do. And they just make it work. I can't believe they've been able to keep them on board consistently for all the years that damn show has been on for.
They all make the same money, but is that a lot?
Oh, yeah. It's big, big money. Millions and all of the monies. Today I learned there was a pub in London that was illegally demolished just 2 days before it was going to be listed as a historic site. They made the developer rebuild it brick by brick right back to its original state. It's a famed place now called the Carlton Tavern in Kilburn, London. If you ever want to visit it, it was completed in 1921, according to this. Today I learned the guy from this show. We sure are angry. That's right. Yeah, I've never seen an episode.
Sure
of
are angry.
And we're men. That's the clue you get for that. Mad Men is indeed the show. John Hamm is the star. This is Mad Men's John Hamm got his fraternity shut down by torturing a pledge's genitals with fire and a hammer.
I was watching. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I was watching old 30 Rock this weekend, and John Hamm's in it. He looks so young. It's so different than he is now. It's crazy.
They said it was during a hazing incident for not remembering to call him MC Hammer as they were doing it. And today I learned this band.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me
Metallica.
Metallica is correct, C-Lane. Congratulations. You win.
Swept.
This is a crazy fact about Metallica. Craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, no. Here we go. I wanted to end the show with Metallica.
I forgot to do Today I Learned until the break right before because it was just C-Lane and me today. So I just got you some Metallica. Today I Learned they're good, right? And there's like semen and blood on this album cover. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast at thenewsjunkie.com. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.